Hello, and welcome everyone to D6, where I, our Shan, bring together several friends from across the internet to play on the TTRPG show. I actually had to, keep myself from laughing, because we were just
still
being
got the
so
giggles,
silly.
huh?
Yeah,
All the
no, we were
giggles.
just being so silly before this.
All the
Before
teehees.
before we get on into today's episode, we got a couple of quick announcements, and then we will jump on into game. To start off, as always, if you wish to help support the show, as well as be able to catch some of our episodes a week early, we have our Patreon, which is a link down below. Any and all support really helps the show kind of go forward, and especially as we move forward into this year with an LLC and getting everything kind of reorganized and making sure that it stays better, well organized. These things are going to matter a lot more to us, as I really want to start throwing myself much more into this particular show and project and what we do here. So, like I said, any and all support that makes its way over on our Patreon, we thank you very much. And as always, if you want to catch our episodes a week early, by all means, it will be over on the Patreon. Our podcast episodes, as always, are over on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, as well as whatever other platform we end up landing on because of RSS. Our episodes go live at 6 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, or Pacific Time, and 9 a.m. Eastern Time on Saturday every week. So if you're just looking to only get the audio version of our show, it is made available there. Next up, yes, as I have also mentioned before, we are going to be experimenting with a couple of the rules from the Advanced 5th Edition book. So you guys will probably be noticing them a little bit more in the show. Whilst we haven't fully implemented any of the A5E stuff just yet, as we will be doing it for the next campaign. And quite luckily for that, more news will be to come. But if you start hearing certain rules being said on the show, that is simply the reason why, additional stuff is going to be changing, as I've probably mentioned before. Speaking of changes, with us kind of being, I would say, almost near halfway in this campaign, one of the big things that have been a massive point of discussion is where we are moving forward, not just only with the show, but also with the kind of the branding of it all. I have talked to everyone here at the table on multiple different occasions about wanting to kind of change things around, and the logo of D6 has been with us for nearly 10 years. It's just that it always felt a little over presumptuous to kind of assume a very prominent dice, and also to kind of just say we're D6 and all that stuff. So in the near future, we are going to be officially changing the title of the channel, as well as changing some of the branding to Explorers of Erdseeheimel entirely. So we will let you know when all of that change comes through. It will probably be within the next 10 to 20 episodes. We are working with Kayla, as to any one of you that remember them as Holly. They are working on our brand new logo, which we cannot wait to show everyone when it is done. And also that means I'm going to be getting a new DM screen with a brand new logo as well, but that's more for me. And also in the news of a lot of that being changed for the new campaign, we finally have somewhat settled on all of our players for the next campaign. Some familiar faces here, some not so familiar faces here. And I cannot wait to see what we develop over this over the course of time as we get closer and closer towards the end of this story and on to the next. Okay, and I think that's it for the D6 announcements. Last but not least, of course, obviously, is our wonderful friends over at GamerSups. We have them for another couple of episodes, but GamerSups, to those of you who do not know, I am on the keto diet. I've been trying to lose the weight, and they have assisted me so much with providing me with a flavorant for my water. And it helps me a lot because I really am trying to avoid a lot of the super sugary drinks out there. And quite luckily, their powders, which much like some very particularly interestingly named flavors like titty milk or blowhole blast. I believe there's also one that's Sploosh by
and
Cindy
so
A.
many more.
And
how could you forget about
many
Grandpa's Ashes?
And Grandpa's Ashes and Red 40, which I think was Red for a limited. Yeah. And, oh God, don't even start with that. All these flavors and so much more, as well as their wonderful waifu cup designs, are available over at gamersubs.com. Or gamersubs.gg. However, if you guys want to get 10% off of your final order and for a limited amount of time, they are running a free shipping code with every creator code. So if you guys want to get some free shipping as well as a bit of a discount, then please do go check out the link down below, or just go to gamersubs.gg/shienpai, SHIENPAI, and I hope you guys like some gamer subs, because I know I do. Right. I think that's everything.
Is it? We
I
good?
believe it. Yeah, I think we're good. All that funness.
Everything pertinent to the campaign, yeah.
Yes. Well then, that being said, let's get into today's episode of D6 Frontiers. As the lot of you find yourselves within the Black Archives after a hard-fought battle, taking a bit of a breather to collect oneself, as well as discuss amongst each other the matters of dealing with the world, each other's relationships, as well as finding new love. As the day passed, you found yourselves being greeted by not just only the entirety of the Black Archives organization, but also the guidance of Cotton, as she reveals the Black Archives' greatest weapon and secret: a time dragon, the heart of time for the star, as it flows through the entirety of it. You attempt to commune with this creature as it reads back words and reaches to every individual within this massive crystalline layer. After speaking to each of the main party members, a particular secret is made aware to just the lot of you, in which Salazar reveals to the party a well-held secret And that is where we had last left off. So, Salazar, as you turn to Citra, revealing a partition of this information.
There is a secret I have been keeping from you all.
Salazar looks around the room briefly.
Cotton is in the room with you, by the way.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, just letting you know. She's like, what the hell's going on? Because y'all look shocked.
Nyx just stares, like, not really shocked that people have secrets, but curious to hear what he has to say.
Citra's reaction being, she got hints from Arthur and Tasha in a way.
Before his death, Alois set into motion a plan, contingency plan. In the event he were to ever die. That contingency plan is me.
Kind of furrows their brow a little bit.
Cotton's letting him speak, but her arms are crossed and she looks a bit confused and a little upset.
I was sworn to secrecy on this. However, seeing as it is now necessary for us to continue, if we wish to save this star, I have been tasked with resurrecting Alois.
Citra looks a bit confused. His at the end of Black Archives, he was gone beyond the portal, so she's tilting her head and she's like, "How are you doing that if he's not even? He didn't even make it back to the star."
And isn't there a time limit on resurrection?
In most senses, yes.
There are less savory ways of returning to the mortal plane from beyond. For that, he requires the expertise of a necromancer.
Do you know yet how you're going to accomplish that?
There's an idea. But it's been months of research and working and trial and error. And I'm almost there.
What do you need left in your research?
What was the roadblock I was facing?
His soul. You need
Little difficult with the current climate.
Just his soul. That's all. Easy peasy.
The usual method, as far as those of a more clerical mind, you would know that you would, as long as the soul remains within the planes of the star, that you can attempt to beckon them back. However, this is not the case, as the lunarscape is not a realm of the star. It was technically a realm of primordials and the goddess of the moon.
Yeah.
The effort to try and get that soul back would mean having to travel to the lunarscape itself.
Yeah. Would Citra understand that at least a little bit, considering she was there?
To an extent, yes. Canis, you would also understand this because, you have revived people in the past.
Citra's looking a little unsure. Obviously when he says necromancer, she's not going to go the whole, oh, there's no resurrection right now, but she'd look at Salazar and she just... This is twice now that we're basically being told to go back to the moon. We only got there because of... Nox was the name of the dragon, right?
Yes.
Yeah. How are we going to get there now?
I may have an idea,
We have
but I'm
a ship.
not sure if the ship can do that. I've never been to the moon in the ship. Rolly would be able to confirm that, but he's
Over here.
Yeah.
Ignore me.
Yeah. Cotton's just letting them speak, but then she just kind of shakes her head. He told you not to tell me, didn't he?
I was sworn to secrecy.
Yeah, he does that a lot.
Nyx kind of rolls their eyes.
He wanted to give you all a fresh start. In a world without Alois Azure, maybe, perhaps. Perhaps he thought maybe the world would be better off without an Alois Azure for a time.
well, given the state of things, maybe not.
Well,
She's just kind of going through it, so she's just trying to process this at the same time. She's not lashing out at Salazar. She's never going to take it out on him. She understands and what her dad does. Just kind of muttering, going, secrets again, fucking shit up. Wenry gets it.
Oh yeah, Winry's seen it firsthand.
Salazar sort of sighs.
I'm sorry for keeping this from you all. You must understand this was the final request of the only friend I've ever had.
We understand. Well, at least I understand. That's Cedar speaking, by the way.
Arya kind of pipes up. We all have our secrets.
To be fair, Arthur was slowly dropping hints to me while we were in Vale. And then Tasha said she couldn't say anything. There's a slight glare coming from Cotton hearing the mention of Tasha. Just...
Well, I suppose we know our next steps then. If Alois Azure is necessary to the advancement of our plans, then we must resurrect him.
So where is his soul? Do you even know?
Salazar takes his
Delivers.
skeletal finger and points upwards.
Yeah. Citra just turns to next, on the lunarscape, where we were going up against Calroll, and the portal collapsed.
Well, a moon. Okay.
And,
And we have a ship.
I mean, it
And
might...
do you know what else is there? I imagine that enemies would not want him to come back.
There's
I
a
imagine
citadel?
if
Citra was there, and so was Canis. I think they know general of what's there. Was it the same space Canis was in?
No.
I don't think
No?
it was, no.
Okay, Citra saw the
I mean,
citadel
Candace
then.
went to a boardroom and then a vault.
Oh, yeah.
He didn't fight anyone up there.
Citra
I
would
believe
Sorry, go ahead.
Nex is correct. If anything is capable of getting us to the moon, it's the sand tide.
Have any of you fought sharks before in space?
Not
Pardon?
in space, but
No.
I haven't even been that far up in the
No.
sky. No.
There is this whole citadel there, and we met Lux. It was a lot. She's just she doesn't want to go back there. Going back to the place you died is a little weird. Well, I guess we're calling on Reloy then, because I don't think any of us have a way to teleport to the moon.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll get in touch with him when we leave this area.
And if not the Santa, then I suppose we have to pay Nox a visit.
They're not here anymore.
Wonderful.
Santide or bust. Alright.
Before we get too distracted, is there anything else that we saw? Because Nyx remembers that they saw, or heard, excuse me, not saw, heard the voice of, like, Heart Tree, if I remember correctly.
That, and there was a naming of a friend of Arya's on the moon as well. When we were with Dante.
When the Time Dragon was giving us all a snippet of who we are.
Check the
Citra
notes.
got they lie, but they haven't said anything.
So was
Hey,
I the
Corny's
only
in
one that
notes?
heard a weird title?
No.
No.
Okay.
At least you got that. Not an ominous morning.
Before we leave, I will need to stop by my lab.
We can
Collect
do
the work
that.
I've done so far.
Yeah, if you can give me some coordinates, I'd be happy to take you there, Salazar.
Would Cotton be able to just ask Bertrand for help on that one?
Well, he's
Or
not
would
here
have to-
right now.
No, when they go back out of the room. Is what I'm
What are
saying.
what are you asking for?
To get to Salazar's lab. Because I'm assuming Cotton got here via Bertrand's whatever special thing he does to get to certain places.
Oh, this is only locatable to
Oh,
a
okay.
handful of people.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess Salazar just says where his lab is.
Yeah. Cotton just kind of like shifts a bit. He doesn't want me to know he's coming back, right?
I figure he was trying to save you some heartache.
That if it should fail.
That he wants to play some sort of unseen protector from now on or something. I don't know. I'm tired of keeping the man's secrets.
I think that's just about everybody who knows him at this point. Fine. As far as I know, he's dead. She's trying to make it easier on you.
I suppose we should set off whenever we are ready then.
Is there a reason why... I was gonna ask Aaron, is there a reason why Mirios is in this room?
I'll reveal that hand when it's time.
But tis.
Sneaky, sneaky.
Mm,
Sorry, Lo-Fi's yelling.
Woof.
Lo-Fi's yelling and I got Maven growling for no reason. Settle down, sweetheart.
The dogs be speaking.
They have opinions on this whole mess.
They're calling bullshit. That's what they're doing.
I could modify memory.
Has the lot of you come to the conclusion Salazar, Citra, Canis, Arya, Nyx, and Winry. Another word enters your minds. You hear the word stay.
Okay.
oh.
Winry will probably look towards the dragon, just like, was that you, sir?
I'm sat.
Wait, okay, so...
We were
which
told to
ones?
stay.
All, that's just the main cast?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, I'm having a audio thing problem with myself, so...
Do you need us to pause for a second?
Oh, no, it isn't
Oh, okay.
technological. It's...
Gotcha.
It's a mental blockage right now.
Okay.
It'll pass.
As the rest of those who had entered this room were told to go.
Okay.
Everyone slightly making their way from the exit and just shuffling out. As the door closes, the lot of you begin to hear another low rumble throughout this room. Salazar, you hear in your mind another word. You hear madness.
Madness?
Teacher just hands up.
Well, to be fair, your adventure is a little bit crazy.
What is madness?
You hear the words of Sapphire King. Canis.
Yeah.
You feel as though your vision kind of just whitens at the edges as images and ideas begin to flow into your head. Something crazy, something wild, something unbound is released. Something just pure, unthinking, bestial destructiveness. As it thrashes about, flashes of blue scales. And then your vision returns. Arya. In your mind, you begin to hear a song. A song, something that can soothe, something that can just relieve the soul. Something that you have been capable of doing these past 150 odd years. Just making the restless restful. Making madness into calm. A song has entered your head. It's almost like a child's rhyme. A song that has probably been sung a million times.
I'm hearing a song in my head. A lullaby? makes no sense.
No, I believe it does. What Salazar was given was simply madness, and what I was given was, I believe, Alois going on a rampage. It may be the case that the resurrection may not go as planned.
And we'll need a song to lull him.
Correct.
Winry,
Yes.
you hear the sound of the ocean and waves not too far off in your mind. It is a familiar sound, these waves as they slap on the land as it just crests across the beaches. And then you hear the trickling of water within caves and something deep within. Something budding. Something familiar in a way. Nyx, in your mind, you are provided a vision, something familiar to you, bark of white and something powerful and ancient. A means of crossing between realms. And deeply embedded into it is a swirl of whites and purples and a stone deeply embedded at the base of this tree. It almost looks familiar to the shape and form of this beast. This being of time.
Tree.
I saw the beach and I think I heard dripping deep in a cave and there was something in there.
We may have to go back to Solman if that's the location, because that's the tree by the ocean, but it could be a completely different tree. Not sure.
We've come across a few special ones, true.
To you, Winry, this one's far more familiar. Closer to home.
I think I may need to go back to Homegway.
There could be a tree at Hungway that you don't know of.
Might be. I've been up, down, and all around that island, but there's obviously something I could have missed.
Well, the trees were designed to defend themselves, to stay hidden for as long as possible until they feel threatened.
In which case, I might have been right next to one and never even knew.
Nyx nods.
Sutra. A few things enter your mind. The first, a word. Strife. Then suffering. Then pain. Then survival.
The look on her face just looks more and more concerned.
There's nothing violent behind these words, but rather an understanding, a path, a way forward, as all these things just surrounded by its design.
Mm-hmm. She's unsure how to take all this, because the first thing she was told was they lie, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So she's not sure how to take it.
And a vision comes to you. Standing atop tall mountains as they sweep down to lush green forests and then sand. And at the summit of these mountains, you see the sun as it shines, shadows being swept away.
Does she recognize this place at all?
No.
Huh.
There's just this path, a future, something yet written, the result of everything you're about to face. These words, these challenges, these notions, necessity. It leads to this end.
Sorry, she's not much to really say about it.
Janus.
Yes.
You were met with two more visions. Almost as if this being is trying to piece together a potential future. One is a familiar place, one that you have been to before, long, long ago. A place where you saw your father struggle to hold it all together. And something just there in that room, shining and welcoming. A desire to seek you out just as much as you seek for it. And then another vision. No palace beyond this realm. Rather one that you have seen before, one that has probably long since awaited a dragon king. As you do not sit upon the throne of the adamantine bastion any longer, but the very kingdom in which dragons hail from.
I think it's cementing more into my future of having a place in my father.
replacing or taking your place, like an heir situation?
More so that.
Because if you're replacing your father, that's some pretty big footprints you gotta follow.
I'm well aware.
Salazar.
Until recently.
Oh, sorry.
No, you can keep going. Just amusing.
Salazar.
Huh?
You see a vision. Standing atop your own mountain. Standing atop somewhere within this realm. Behind you, new breaths and faces as they stare out into the world. Figures and forms much like yourself.
I see a mountain. And there are beings that are like me.
Nyx kind of raises an eyebrow to that.
I can't make sense of it.
Arya, in your mind, you find yourself atop a tower, one that you control. It is open. It can play back louder than those who speak so softly here in Amphitheater. You see many, many, many young faces searching for their own destiny. And you see...
Does Arya recognize this amphitheater?
No. It is new. You see, as you stare off into the horizon, just cresting is, however, a very familiar place. It is the city of your home. It is Vale in the distance. A future where the rules have changed.
I see a busy amphitheater overlooking Vale.
Meaning not behind a gate? Like you were before?
There was no gate mentioned, so...
No, she understands that
No.
gods were stuck
No.
behind a gate kind of deal.
Yeah, no,
Yeah, like you-
that was more me saying to Aaron, like, hey, are you adding any fuckery?
Fucker.
No.
No gate.
So there's hope that, knock on wood, things go well, and I guess whatever we're doing by then, we're not stuck behind some weird rules gate.
That's
I really hope
surprisingly
so.
comforting.
It's very comforting. I'm sitting here thinking I'm gonna have to say bye to everybody I know.
If that's the case, it would be very fortunate indeed. And it would be
Like,
most
Citra just-
fortunate for you all to never have to experience that.
Nyx kind of pauses and thinks about their vision again.
At least you recognize where you're at.
Nix.
I think, sorry, just briefly, I think Salazar is like lost in his thought and then realizes something. I won't say what it is though.
Okay, keep your secrets.
Keep your secrets, Magic Man.
You find yourself in a perpetual forest of your design as the vision enters your mind, welcoming guests, chasing away enemy. But more importantly, you are free. As the winds in the air, as far as the dirts beneath one's feet, you can feel the crashing of waves in the oceans. You can feel the trees throughout Earth's. You do not command nature. You are nature.
Nix just lets out a very deep sigh. Not sad, not happy. Very. It's like that would seem nice if we get there, but yeah. That's kind of the expression on their person. Like, they don't look tense or upset or happy. Like, just a little at peace almost.
Yeah.
If that is to come.
Cetra's just kind of watching everybody explain these things. Like, so is everybody seeing some strange new place? Or I guess recognizable places? I don't know of a forested mountain and desert at the same time, but...
I believe it is a vision of a hopeful future.
Except
that is
mine
the wisdom
was...
that I believe it is.
Mine was followed by a lie, pain, strife, survival, and then that vision.
Well, the vision was our hopeful survival. Our hopeful future, that is, after we go through our trials. Whatever they may be. Which for you, that may be what those words are.
I didn't say anything earlier because I just didn't know what to make of it right away, so I just kind of waited for you guys to say something. Sorry.
I was also curious about the creature, dragon-like creature with the tree, when everyone was explaining theirs, and then I got my vision, so it cleared up a few things for me.
Well, some of it makes sense now, but what is they lie? Who's lying?
I don't know, but I suppose we should be wary of new people.
I mean, I don't think it's anybody in this group, but...
I mean, Salazar just revealed a secret of his own.
That's...
Secrets are secrets. Are they really
Secrets-
lies?
No, it's withholding information.
I mean, there are such things as lies by omission, but
Correct.
I
I don't think it meant Salazar. That's a little weird.
Well, Salazar was kept by a promise. I don't
Exactly.
think that counts as a lie.
No.
Nix
But-
kind of shrugs. It's just like,
And
it's
the
with
voice-
the information that I have.
Yeah, and then that figure I keep seeing has pointed us in the right direction every time. So far. So I don't know.
And finally,
I think we
You
can
would have to gather
comfortably
more
trust each
information.
other.
Winry.
Yes.
You find yourself not atop any throne, not atop any position over others, rather in a position of trust. You are surrounded by wisdom by strength, and by love. You are stronger than now, but such strength can either come at a cost, or it takes a great deal of dedication to maintain. You find yourself within the clouds of storms. On the wings of those that came before you. The vision fades.
Winry will blink after this vision phase, just...
Well, I have a lot of work ahead of me, but I think I like where it will go. Images of flying through the storms and on my own set of wings. That's pretty cool if you ask me, but...
Sounds like fun.
I think it's less that I'm doing it for fun, it's that I'm meant to do that sort of thing.
As you are all given these visions of hope, you are all also met with one more vision. Dark, violent, devoid of life. You find yourselves staring at the bodies of your allies in the bottom of an abyss, this darkness, this figure so infinitely huge, so massive. It is nigh impossible to believe its presence. And then you see the light go out. Nowhere to go. And it all ends. Everything is gone.
So the consequences if we should fail.
And we all saw the exact same vision, correct? So,
Nix nods.
Citra, do you think that might have been the light?
What have been the light now?
You said back when we were in Elysium, don't let the light go out. I know it meant something there, but I think that means something here, too.
I mean, Sav and I kind of took the darkness and the light of the star itself. But I think this is just specifically saying if we don't keep hope alive and fight and win, the star is gonna go bye-bye. That's what the Dreadnought is doing, or hoping to do.
It's not as if we didn't know that was the final consequence anyway.
Yeah, but, you know, isn't
It
the
does
Lord
help
that...
put it into perspective.
Yeah, I understand we're on this path to becoming gods to deal with Roya in some way, but Roya is also the one that was supposed to stop the Dreadnought, right?
Salazar's brow furrows.
Yes, he was supposed to Stop the dreadnought.
He blinks a couple times and looks down.
That means...
Wouldn't that mean we have to save him?
If we all die, he doesn't save the dreadnought. Or he doesn't stop the dreadnought. Roya can't do this without us.
And we need to snap him out of whatever the hell he's doing right now.
Yeah.
If Nex is correct, I have a feeling they might be. It's not even really Roya.
Mirio said that is Roya there with her.
He is only a part of the Roya that you know.
Kenneth's just looking right at Nex while she's talking.
Citra doesn't look all too surprised because she did get, again, hints from Arthur's just dropping hints to Citra here and there.
I've been having interactions with Roya on the sidelines, or at least used to. They are no longer, I believe, interested in speaking with me at the moment. But through my interactions and through how many people have spoken about Roya, I don't believe it's the same man, and there's something up. It's part, yes, but not the whole.
I mean, could we not ask Cotton? She was there, right, when he came back?
Well, through the report that they written in through the trial, they did state that Modius and Arthur were there during his release. It's just, again, a theory, but I believe Modius might have tampered with Roya's soul in some way.
So if we undo the tampering, we can finally have a tool against the dreadnought again?
But how do we do that?
Tricky bit of soul magic.
But Azure did that. Long story short, Sav was a part of me as a separate soul, and he was able to separate us for a little while. He does things. I don't know how to explain it better. That's just, he's the only one I know that's done that.
Perhaps that is why we need him for this next leg.
Yeah, that would make sense, actually.
So much relying. Nyx was about to say something and then just sighs and...
Lying?
Relying.
Oh.
But Nyx stopped themselves because, like, they are in front of Cotton. Where it's just like,
no, Cotton's not in the room anymore.
No, Cotton left the room.
Cotton departed.
Yeah, they
gotcha.
left.
Gotcha.
It's just us.
I'm assuming that's what you meant. Like, all the other NPCs are out the room. So
Okay, cool. So
yeah, Cotton's
Nyx
in
will
the other
actually
room
speak their mind.
fuming.
Characters only.
Yeah.
So Nyx would actually speak their mind. And it's just
Yeah.
like so much relying on a man long gone who is still fucking with people.
What?
Typical Alois.
I don't like that we have to rely on him so much, and he doesn't trust people to do the things that he needs to do. Quotation marks.
Oh god,
And Nyx
Nyx
does the
only
quotation
heard.
marks.
Yeah,
He's the only one. Like this, it's old wounds of like Alois saying that he knows best from when he kidnapped a friend of, and this is Ray explaining it, not Nyx, where Alois was planning to have like their companion Ripley kidnapped and thrown into a dragon because he knows best. Energy.
It's like, excuse
And
me, the
that's
fuck
the where
no.
the
Thrown into
vibe
a
comes
dragon.
Yeah, that was the
So-
video game.
That's where that
Put him in the
sass is
dragon.
coming from. Getting the dragon Ripley.
Azure has
Or
this
Shinji
strange
will have
way
to do
of.
it.
Yeah, or Shinji will have to do it.
Azure has this strange way of always having his fingers in something, in some way or another.
Yeah, put too many fingers in too many pies, you come out with messy hands.
And apparently keeping it from his child, which is a little weird.
He knows
Yeah.
best. Nick says sarcastically.
I've known the man for about 30 years. If there's one thing I can tell you about him, is that he definitely has an ego.
Well, we can give him a stern talking to when we finally get him back.
But it sounds like we may have to fight him too.
We've bullied dragons before.
He's not just your typical dragon, Wenry.
Oh, I know.
He held
Still
us
doesn't
up
mean
on
we
his
can't
back
lose.
on a field that gave us the shield spell while fighting Orcus. This is a very strong dragon.
Well,
Yeah.
we're supposed to becoming gods, so...
Well, we're not yet.
Keyword, yet.
Yeah.
We still
We'll
gotta
just
get...
have to hope that we get strong enough to
Yeah.
stop him on his rampage.
Yeah, we need to get the three of you squared away as well, but I haven't heard anything from that figure.
Well, I suppose our next step is to follow the visions. I'm guessing the moon at some point, definitely.
Well, the moon's
Probably
been mentioned
Homeway.
twice now, so I think moon is happening very soon.
Okay.
Either the
well,
moon or hell.
I'd rather not.
Well, we did also get a clue about yours, Canis, at least, when it comes to, like, a pyramid thing, I believe.
The low bundle?
I don't
Nick
believe that is
shrugs.
where the next spark is.
Correct.
That is where we have to go after the rest of us have found ours.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Arias is
I
still
believe-
back in amphitheater, I believe, right?
No, that's
Sorry,
where she's
repeat
gonna
that?
end up when she...
No.
succeeds, right?
Her amphitheater, that's where her spark was left, I believe. And that's why we needed to get the horn for Tasha to see if she can go and get it.
Ah.
but we kind of had to leave Vale in a hurry last time, so we can always make a stop by again.
Well, we have the horn.
You have the
Yeah.
horn, yes. We have to give it to
Yeah.
Tasha.
Yeah.
Didn't Tasha say that they might be visiting?
Here?
Mm.
I don't think she can get here.
I don't think here, but when we leave the archives, maybe.
We may require her help.
She
Oh,
is
so-
a very magical being.
Wenry can sense the fuming anger of Cotton somewhere. JK.
Yeah, Nyx actually looks at Salazar, is just like, did she say something to you?
Never much. Only ever briefly. And I'm not sure how much of this she even knows.
She seemed to know enough to tell me she can't tell me anything. I'm
Does
sorry.
Cotton know that she's coming? Or going to visit?
Is she?
She said she was going to meet up with us eventually, but not
Here.
here.
No, it was here.
It was here?
Yes.
Oh boy, that'll be fun.
We met her at Hollengrad, and she said she'd meet us at the Black Archives. And that's where we're at.
Well, I guess when we leave this room, we'll find out.
Oh, hopefully Cotton doesn't shoot her. I need that crook back.
The priorities.
Salazar was supposed to tell Cotton that Tasha was coming, and they haven't.
Oh,
gotten that
boy.
conversation.
I'm sorry, it slipped my mind.
We've had a rather troubling last 2 days, as it were.
Yeah.
Oh no, that was Ray whispering that to
Yeah.
Connor. It's just like, cough. Because Nyx can't remember, or
Yeah.
has refused to remember. Whichever the two fits best.
Cotton Citra will look around and then look back up at the time dragon. It's like, is there anything else?
A word enters all of your minds. You hear resolve.
Resolve?
I suppose we should keep our resolve.
I mean, make it firm decision or find a solution to a problem, which I think that's both of what we're supposed to be doing.
I think the moon might be a little bit more of a pressing matter if we need
Well,
Eloise.
we now have 2 visions telling us to go to the moon, so I think it's trying to tell us to go to the moon.
The question is, do we go there immediately, or do we harvest the rest of the divine sparks first?
I don't know where else to go. I haven't heard anything yet.
I imagine if we go to the moon, we'll probably find another direction.
Yeah. And I guess Arya gets to meet up with an old friend, maybe?
Well, the concern is that if we're going to fight Eloise, would it be best if we all have our sparks, or if it would be best if we get Eloise first?
Arya
to help
never
us get the rest of our
mentioned-
sparks.
Arya never mentioned that Asmodeus called her again, did she?
No.
Yeah.
We were, the thing I'm only mentioning is when Dante was talking about the moon, and you're like, that's my friend! That's the only thing Citra is mentioning. That's it.
Monda! Friend, maybe more than friend, who knows? Anyways.
I mean, we're in
I'm
the
just-
black...
I'm just
Sorry.
presenting the options on the table. I'm not
Yeah.
saying we should go for one or the other. I'm just presenting.
Yeah. It's gonna be a rough fight regardless.
I should let you know, I did recently speak to my father once more, and he tried to strong-arm me into taking his deal for the divine spark he offered me.
I hope you said no.
What was the deal?
Of course, he won't even tell me what his deal is. All he says is, I give you this divine spark, and when I want something, you're going to give it to me.
That's way too open-ended even for me.
Exactly. Which is why
He
I
sucks
told
at
him
contracts if that's his only deal.
Just casually,
You are right,
Asmodeus
you-
sucks.
Like, just straight up, Nix is like, he just sucks at contracts if that's the only discrepancy
Either
he
that,
has. And-
or he's desperate.
yeah.
He
That's
also
exactly
knows how
what I
dire
told
the
him.
situation is.
And his realm
That's
is also
exactly
being
what I
affected by the
told him.
dreadnought.
Mm-hmm.
the 9 hells are being affected too. I told him I can tell he's desperate. That's why he's asking for my help. That's why he's making this offer.
It's
Which is
just
why
like
I can't
that
accept
dwarf.
it.
In the face
So-
of the end of the world, that type of person will still try to get something out of someone.
Dwarf?
The one that told us to get the thing for the forge.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
The one who made our things cooler.
You're...
And said that it would rig to explode if we did something.
If we
That
told on
bitch.
him.
Damn, I
Well,
would have
I mean-
betrayed him so hard.
So,
We are
We were
at the
literally
black...
planning on it.
Yeah. We are in the Black Archive surrounded by really old dragons. They might even also have a solution. Until I sleep again and I get told otherwise, I don't know where the other sparks may be aside from a really bad deal with Asmodeus.
we're not going to do that deal. We're going to just take it from him. If-
Yeah,
if
that's
that's the
that's
case.
too risky a deal.
Sure.
Hey, Dad,
Of
I'm just
course
gonna
it's too
casually,
risky
like,
a
steal
deal.
shit.
Of course it's too risky a deal, but I don't want to fight my father.
Mm-mm.
Well, the fact of the
You're-
matter
We don't have
is,
to
we know
fight
it's
him.
there.
We just need the spark.
But
Yeah.
also, your spark is still back in your realm, whatever you... I don't know what they're called, I'm sorry. But there is a way to get yours back.
Domain.
Domain, thank you. Brain just went, you shall not remember this word.
Yes,
So-
but getting there's another thing
Tasha.
entirely.
Well,
Remember
Tasha
Ta-
can help us with that. But
got
also,
what
if
you
it is a attuned horn item to your realm, then I do have plane shift, but I don't know if it will require additional assistance.
We might need
Well,
Tasha.
Well,
It
let's
sounds
take
like we
the
will
word
need
Tasha.
Tasha.
Either way, I don't think we're going to get your spark that time soon.
I
If we need
didn't think
need
so.
Tasha until they come and see us, and we've been hopping around a bit, so I have no idea if they even know where we are.
Well,
This is Tasha. I'm pretty sure we're not that hard to find.
I can always give her a sending, but I'm not sure she's supposed to know where the Black Archives is.
Yes, that's correct. And I don't believe
Mm-mm.
Dr. Cottonelle would appreciate it too much if we told them.
I'm assuming Tasha also upset quite a lot of people.
Oh, I've heard.
Yeah.
They seemed cool
Yeah.
to me,
Well, my one interaction with them, they saved my life at the hands of my brother, so
We
they left a first impression with me that was quite well.
He killed my companion and then kidnapped my other friend, and it was a whole thing, but we managed to make her our friend somehow.
Teacher's
like, I don't even know how that
end.
worked. Yeah, she just has that look like, now that I say it out loud, what?
Salazar looks at the camera.
Like, what's
Jim
another-
Hopper look.
I think our next best move is to maybe ask the few that are out there to see the best way to go about it, whether it be going directly to the moon or we have to contact Tasha. We have our directions for the most part, but until I hear otherwise about anything else, there's nothing I can help the rest of you with divine sparks yet. Sorry.
The best idea for myself would either be from my aunt, which again is a trip to hell, or Celestia, which is closed off to us, and hoping my father left something as a form of inheritance. For Wenry, I haven't the slightest idea.
You know, the divine spark that my father's offering me was actually from Bahamut.
What?
Yeah.
How?
So we're gonna need to make a trip to hell, no matter what.
Wonderful.
So we will be having to go to hell regardless. So
Well, we knew that, but we were also trying not to go there until we absolutely had a reason to survive in the Nine Hells.
yeah. So, but as for you, Winry, I think it's you going home and seeing if there's any clues. Or your ancestry. One or
But
the
with
other.
And with the
from
sand
what
tide,
you've
we
described.
can get around pretty quickly.
Yeah. So, wherever we need to go first, I'd be happy to take you guys. But a stop to Hungwe is definitely needed.
So we have Lobandel, the Nine Hells, Homgoy,
The moon.
the moon. And I guess eventually we'll... Yeah. And whatever, I'll let you know if I'm told anything else, but...
I vote for the moon first,
Yeah,
as it may be easier for people to reach us, perhaps.
We're also being told twice about the moon, so I think it's just a big, big sign that says, go to the moon.
I think hell
Yeah,
is
good
going to
word.
be on the very end.
Mm-hmm.
Doubtful. Lobando will be our final.
Right.
Then
We
I
are
think we
being
have a
pushed
plan.
Salazar looks at the camera again.
Stop breaking the fourth wall.
It seems we're being pushed towards the moon more than anything else. Shortly
Right.
after that, I believe it will be hell.
The moon's haunted by sharks.
As
The
above, so
moon is
below.
haunted by sharks. I never thought I would hear that sentence in my life.
Well, the more bright you are, the more attracted they are to you, like moths, and they're not really nice.
Do you want us to cover you with a cloth?
Well, you're gonna need light.
Nah. I'm good.
Do all of us have dark vision?
Nope.
Uh,
I'm going to need to
Winry.
hold somebody's hand when we get there.
I think Okay, you do? Okay. I think only Winry.
it's only Winry.
The halfling.
Look,
You
Winry.
cast Dark Vision.
Winry.
Candace
okay,
could.
no,
I
this is gonna be
believe
Ray
you
out
can
of
cast
character.
dark vision as a
Yes.
cleric.
You can cast dark vision. It's like you're
Oh,
gonna
yeah.
need it. It's
I've
very
never
dark.
needed to.
As a player to Winry.
No one has ever needed to.
Yeah. She would remind you of the scene where she flashed her wings and then immediately got eaten by a shark.
It is
But-
also
okay,
not. It is also not a cleric spell. It's artificer, druid, ranger, sorcerer, wizard.
Yeah.
So
Oh.
not cleric, and that's about it.
Yeah, not cleric.
so-
it's a not cleric. Yeah.
Next can do it.
Yeah. But regardless, me as Ray towards you, Kendra.
Yeah.
Rudy has glasses of night
Dark
vision.
vision.
Yes, he does.
Oh, but I don't want to take his glasses from him.
Steals glasses.
Ask him for a second pair or where he got them or something. I
He
don't
got
know.
buff, he
also-
doesn't need him anymore.
Here's
Between Rudy
here's
and
the other
Cotton.
thing. Here's the other thing. If you wear Rudy's glasses, Winry, you would imagine Rudy might have feelings about this. Not bad feelings, but feelings.
It'd be It'd be like wearing your boyfriend's
Aw.
t-shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you also have Rudy and you have Cotton here as an artificer. Like, I'm pretty sure they can probably make something for you.
Yeah, so you can actually take the idea of like, oh, Rudy has something, and then ask Cotton if they can make it.
Yeah.
There you go.
See?
Just Winry
Alright,
with these
well, I guess we'll do
massive
that.
spectacles.
No, Cotton would not treat her that badly.
Meant for someone 3 times her size.
No. Wonder would probably just have like basic standard sunglass looking things.
You describe it, she'd be like, "All right, that's your decision."
Your next artwork is going to be really cute with when wearing glasses.
When I get my power cable back.
Don't worry.
Please
We will get you
draw the
that.
image of Wenry with her eyes just magnified.
You all hear the voice again as it rumbles through here. As you notice all the light begins to dim a bit in this area. As you hear the words, "Time is running out."
Well, I suppose
we
it's our
should
cue to
go.
go then.
Goodbye.
Next does a little bow towards the
Same.
being.
Bye, shiny time dragon.
As
Thank you for your help, sir.
you all thank him, you notice as cracks begin to build around the encasement of this creature.
I think we should step back.
Yeah, let's go.
As you see as pieces of this being begin to fall and split away. As it does, this being, this great being, lived just long enough, as you see as pieces of the stone begin to just fall away, and see as this hue of white and purplish dust begins to just spread far, as you see as the form beneath it all has long since expired, leaving behind this massive, smooth, stone-like thing. One that is familiar to your visions,
Oh.
as you see as it then disappears into the ether, gone.
Did we break it?
I think it was
No.
here just long enough.
I don't believe we broke it.
Okay. Since you look like, did we break it?
Okay, I think we should get going though.
Yeah.
As
Yeah, because I was about to ask if the purple and white looked familiar.
it does.
That confirms
as
it.
It re-begins its cycle of rebirth.
Ah.
So like a phoenix. All right.
Nyx is like, see you next time.
Haha, nice pun.
Ah, yes.
She totally
Oh.
meant that.
All of the effects that had permeated throughout this layer fade away. Time returns to normal. As you all leave the room as just the hints and wafts of this being just slowly receding back. As all of you return, what seemingly had only been a few minutes have passed over the course of this multi-hour conversation.
Hours.
As a lot of you reconvene with the rest of your allies.
We have some work to do.
Yeah, we sure do.
It would appear so.
Oh, that's right. Cotton, Rudy, I kind of need to borrow something here.
Borrow?
Rudy, I may need something similar to your glasses. Can you and Cotton work together on making a pair for me? I don't want to take yours, because I know how much you need your glasses, but...
I know a few techniques. Surely we can make something. Right,
Yeah.
Doctor?
Absolutely.
Yeah, just may need it soon. To quote, time is running out.
Oh, joy. Yeah, it'd be a nice distraction.
We have a few goals in mind, but some of them relate to needing to go above to the moon, and the other below to the hells.
Sounds like a heck of a trip.
Yes. Personally, I'm not too keen to go to the hells anytime soon.
Citra's just shaking her head. Mm-mm.
I don't think any of us want to really want to go there, but
We are deciding to try to venture to the moon for some of the visions that we were given.
Is there anything else you need of me besides the glasses?
Nyx looks to the others.
Patience? We may
What
be
do you mean?
expecting another one to come. You may
What
not
do
be
you
happy who it
mean?
is. Please don't pull your gun out.
Wenry, you can't ask me to not have emotions before you tell me what seems to be really bad news. We've been over this.
Tasha's promised to meet us at the archives.
You promised what to Tasha?
Tasha has promised to meet us at the archives.
That's funny. I don't see her getting here anytime soon.
It's just
You
Tasha.
hear
I don't know how.
Cotton.
You hear
Nope.
as Icodemus peeks up. Before your time, she was one of the very few individuals that helped establish the Black Archives.
Of
Of course she
is.
knows her way here.
So all I ask is don't fire on sight when she gets here, please.
Mm-hmm. Wenry,
Yeah,
you remember the hell she put us through?
I do. But Tasha's also the one that saved our lives.
And also threatened to kill my kid, so.
Apparently she's a very different person now.
Citra's like, she's turning over a new leaf, and Cotton just has this, like, not
She's-
impressed look.
She's been remarkably helpful. So, just hear her out first before taking any action, please.
She's trying to make good. And moreover, we need her.
We do.
Fine, because the world is ending, and Igadema said something about it.
That's all we
trusted
ask.
Nick. Sure.
Also, just delay her death a little bit further until she gets me back something that she broke.
Fair.
Thank you.
Wenry,
Yeah.
in the future, you really need to work on your delivery.
Yeah.
Yeah, Wenry.
Yeah, it's just Cotton just kind of like
Not that I was the one who was supposed to tell her or anything, but
yeah. Cotton just pats her head like, I'm in a very delicate state, so too much stress is not great. So let's just work on
It's
that.
fine. This is a very tense situation. There's a lot of things happening.
If all things go to plan, I'll have plenty of time to work on that delivery.
Thank you. She means it with all the love in the world. She doesn't want to be mad at you. She's just like, no, not the greatest way to put it. Don't be mad. Don't ever tell me to not be mad. Fine. Well, I guess I have glasses to work on in the meantime. Anything else besides Tasha? Are you going to tell me Harleen's going to show up too?
No, I know nothing of Harleen.
No, not as far as I know. Nyx kind of glances at Fuchsia. It's just like, I don't think that bitch is coming here. Do you think that bitch is coming here? That's the
She'd be
exchange look
Yeah.
of like between her and Fuchsia.
Not that I know of.
That one I cannot promise I won't shoot on sight.
I don't think many of us will stop you other than him.
No.
But
Second.
Tasha, I expected shit. That bitch, not so much.
you're very valid in your feelings.
Mm-hmm. She's just, you could see that she's just like swallowing the anger and frustration and probably a bit of hurt feelings of the shit she found out from Salazar now. It's just, I need to go distract myself. Until then, do you need anything else?
I think that's all.
Okay.
We're gonna be discussing about ways to get to the moon. So feel free to
Yeah.
dismiss yourself if you wish, Doctor.
Well, I can't help you with moon travel, so.
As Cotton and Rudy go off to develop a pair of glasses that will assist Henry with dark vision.
It's like reverse sunglasses.
Citra.
Hmm?
You see as Dagix goes to approach you alongside with Sov. And you see as they both just like, "Can we just for a moment, a bit of a sidebar here?
Sure.
It is nothing bad, we promise."
Okay, good. I
Yeah.
didn't realize how much time had actually passed, and I wasn't sure how the two of you were gonna get along. She actually looked a little nervous.
We've made some notions very clear. He promised to kill me if I hurt you, so, working on that relationship aspect. Violently, I would kill him.
That does make her laugh. This is actually her and me laughing.
As they pull you off to the side, you see as Dagix kind of just leaning on one of the many shelves. So, I was told a number of things while we were in there. I wanted to kind of keep my mouth shut until I could at least discuss things with both of you.
It spoke to you too?
That it did. It showed me something that was left behind by my mother. Not just the infinite knowledge that comes with being being the son of, the great librarian, but also just there's something deep within the Vithrun Vault that I would not have noticed had I not been shown.
Is it okay to ask what that is?
Yes. It is the law of the gods. It is a book that can be written in. I'm not sure about the particulars, but if in some way or somehow, if I can manage to open the book, mayhaps we might be able to start writing our own futures, our own destinies. Things will change, but
It
that's
kind
the
of
reason.
aligns with something we saw.
Oh.
Well, you know, Arya, being one of the prime deities, was with the rest of the gods stuck behind in their own domains, right? That was the rule. She saw a vision of herself being able to be with basically in Vale. I saw the desert, but also mountains, lush mountains, and the sun, and we're all given this like bright future should we succeed. But it all seemed like places on the star itself.
And all the more reason why I need to head to the vault.
Yeah.
And this
Well,
is
I
the
get
part
to
where...
Huh?
well, this is also the part that we needed to have a bit of that conversation with you.
Why?
The Vithram Vault is not on this star. Well, at least not within this plane of existence. It would mean that I would have to go away for a little while, then come back. Given everything, I don't know if wanting to leave you behind is a good idea.
I don't like separating from you either, but it sounds like we're gonna have to.
And
The dragon
she is-
itself. Oh, sorry. Continue.
She is. Dagex kind of just steps closer. I will do anything to get back to you. Everything to get back to you.
You just have to promise to survive. That's all I ask. Come back alive. Crazier things have happened. I mean, you're Sov standing in the flesh with us right now.
Which, by the way, was actually something I wanted to ask you. Understand, this is not me wanting to separate on purpose. But I believe my skills would be more useful if next to Dagex for the time being.
I agree. You two are some of the strongest people I know, so long as you don't try to kill each other, I think I'd be comfortable with this.
Then I will join Dagex here on his little
And,
sojourn to find a book.
Can I ask one thing of you, Dagex?
Yeah.
If it's at all possible, can you actually check in on my mother?
You see as the two look at each other. We'll make sure that we are as quiet as shadows and as swift as whispers.
I figured this would be your expertise between the two of you at this point.
As that settles, you see as Fuchsia approaches you, Nyx, and Salazar. So, heading back up to the lunarscape.
Never been.
Never been. Oh, so I guess it's only just points towards the king and Citra. Those two?
I believe so.
Seems to be.
She died there.
Right. Unfortunately,
insight?
From what I remember from reports, there are certain little creatures that like to hide in the darkness and just eat you whole.
The sharks.
But all in all, I do think the both of you will be able to do it perfectly fine, safe, and as you see as the eyes lock towards you, Salazar, will return here without nary a scar.
That is the hope.
All in all, I still have various fires to put out across Heimel, given the state of things. There are many things I still need to catch up upon, but I don't think it impertinent at least to try and provide some measure of certainty. As you see, as she goes under the armor and she pulls out a familiar red scale, one that you, Nyx, already own.
Oh, yay.
As she hands it to you, Salazar.
He takes it and looks at it.
And what
Now,
is this?
it is a means of contacting me directly. Nyx has one as well. Unfortunately, it will be of no use to you on the lunarscape. I will have no way to get there myself. But when you do return, I expect at least one of you to try and communicate with me.
Nyx nods. Of course.
Very well.
Then,
Nyx gives a rare smile. That rare for others, not for Fuchsia.
I just hope that we'll be able to survive all this. And put this God's forsaken chapter behind the star.
Same.
Agreed.
I love how we're all so in tune. Alright then. Well, as all of you plan, I have a duty to uphold. So, as
Before
you see
they
as...
go, just like goes in for like holds hand and goes in for like a little kiss, little smooch.
Of course. And you see as kind of just pulls away. You can kind of see there's just this desire to just once again kind of just caress the side of your face, Salazar.
I think he sort of like realizes what's happening and then looks away embarrassed.
Anybody observing, just eyebrows up. Nah, Citra's just busy holding on to her two best buds, essentially, right now.
You'll get
His
used to
tail
it.
kind of wraps
When
around.
Salazar's embarrassed,
Eventually.
he just looks angrier.
Nyx's tail just wraps around one of Salazar's ankles. Just
You'll get used to it eventually. I hope. Right then. Ta-ta. As you see, as she waves away and as she disappears into the ether of flames and almost bright pink phosphorus colors.
feel a little bad for having pulled you away from her.
Oh, I don't think you could ever pull me away from her.
I mean... you barely had any time with her.
It was going to be the
maybe.
case, regardless, due to the circumstances of our situation. But if you're trying to apologize for yourself taking time away from Fuchsia, then that's something that you don't need to apologize about.
I see. I'll go calm them down in a second.
No, the Black Archives have dogs now.
Work, woof woof.
This is a one that takes some getting used to.
I understand. But we can take it at our own pace. There's no shame in doing that.
I think I'll reach out and grab their hand briefly before
Just the slightest
letting
squeeze.
go and going to rejoin the others. All right, dogs, kicking your ass.
Go get him, Connor.
Go
Dog.
get him. Got her.
Go get him, Bruce.
Canis and Arya.
Yes.
As you see, as everyone kind of openly communicates, you find yourself approached by Aor. As the two of you can see the look upon the face. I'm not exactly sure what I was expecting in there. But I was certainly not expecting to see something like that.
The last handful of months have been full of surprises for everyone.
As they are prone to. As he looks at you both. It seemed like you were all communicating with it. What did it tell you?
I don't think that is information that was privy to you. I apologize.
Pity. You see, he's just like a little sour and frustrated.
Not talking to your kids again.
I'm also tired with everything being cryptic. It was more than likely for the best.
As am I.
Either which way. There's a lot here within the Black Archives that might be useful to us. And you will all need some swift eyes and a logical mind in order to get through it. I'll say for now, I think I'll stay within the Black Archives. I've already exposed myself to enough danger. More than enough.
Not an unwise decision. I'm certain we will be in need of you later. We can easily come back here to find you.
It wouldn't be a bad idea. Just do me the favor of not dying, both of you. You two are far more valuable than you might believe at the surface level. At least to me.
I do try to stay alive.
I'll do my best.
And best of luck. On whatever it is that you will intend to do. As you see, as he kind of just waves the hand, carries on, keeping the book close to the chest as he has been. Just a little guy.
Who are you talking about?
Nothing.
Sus.
Anyone else who wishes to talk with us?
The last. Mirios.
Oh shit, she's still here. Okay. Sorry.
Even though you were beckoned to leave, you were given a single vision. You were provided the vision of a twilight on an island that you haven't seen before. And there is a connection to the twilight. There is a connection to time. Most importantly, you see a damning vision of a slowly and sadly disappearing to the wither and dust of time as the ravages take hold of Amsir.
Oh. Yeah, I don't think she's gonna say anything to anybody. That's just gonna give, like, if you know her, you'd probably see this slight change in expression, but yeah, that's just quiet sadness, but she knows there's nothing you can do to change it.
You hear the voice. Time is running out.
She just nods. She doesn't really know anyone else in this room besides the weird human and Sov, and they're off talking to other people, so.
And wondering. Ish.
Ish. You'd have to know what you're looking at with Mirios if she is, changing expression in any way. Your insight's gotta be good.
I'd say the only one with the highest insight would be Nyx.
Mm.
I don't think even Nyx knows Muriel, so she'd be like, who the fuck? No?
I mean, like, regardless of who they know, Nyx is acutely, like, almost, like, autism spectrum aware of, like, people's behaviors and how people act and emotion, like, body language and shit.
True. But
So
it's up to Nyx if she's gonna talk to the strange time lady.
If Nyx notices, yes, then
It's up to
probably.
you.
Just a statement of being autistically aware of people's feelings.
Yeah,
I feel like that's an oxymoron.
it is,
Yeah.
but that's what Nyx is, and it describes it perfectly.
Let me see. Hold on.
Nyx is all kinds of oddities.
In the back of the classroom, choking on half a sandwich while having a tism.
I mean, you can try if you wanna poke at it. Her deception's not that great, so. But the thing is, again, she's not necessarily trying to hide it. She just is aware that, besides maybe Sov to an extent, they don't know her well enough to know changes in her behavior. Or at least that's her assumption.
Mhm.
She's just staying quiet, which is wild for a time being to be in front of a time dragon and then still be quiet.
Yep, exactly. That's what Nyx would clock in on entirely. Ray is making puns. Nyx does
I
not
love
make
it.
as many puns.
I know, I'm just... It's up to you.
Nyx does kind of approach and gives them like a curious little head tilt.
She'll just kind of like snap out from like, I guess replaying the vision, just tilting her head. Just, is there something you need? I'm sorry, I don't quite remember your name.
That's fine. What did it say to you?
Not so much said, but showed. Besides,
Any information is valuable. But it seems like information that you didn't want to share.
it's more of a confirmation. When you're very aware of how time works,
I understand it needs to be respected as much as nature does.
I don't know how you would take seeing a vision of someone you care about withering away, and there's nothing you can do to stop it.
Nyx kind of just does a soft shrug. I've
My
been
husband-
acutely aware that in time, I may outlive some of the people that I know. And understanding and appreciating the memories that they have given me is probably the best way to hold on to them without it becoming too painful.
Yeah. I did what I did, and I'm where I'm at, trying to protect my child and my husband, who, as you now know, is Amsir. And now
Nick's
it's
not.
just... It looks like he's gonna be at the end of his own time. It's a little bittersweet.
Hmm.
And time is running out, as it said. It just put me on this strange island in Twilight, and that was the end of it. I don't know if that means the end of the world, or that the time itself on the star runs out completely, or it's just softly letting me know.
It will be an end of a life, but probably not the very end of the world. You'll still have your son, your child. Yeah. And the gifts that Amsir gave to you, including that child.
Funny enough, I'm the one that pushed him on his whole path to all this.
I mean, we meet the ones that we love in very different and strange ways.
Yeah.
I think I think he would be accepting of his time running out if it means that you can continue and the star can continue.
Is it selfish to say that I'm just so tired of understanding the idea of continuing beyond him after thousands of years? Like, she actually, like, laughs a little bit.
It's not selfish, though if it is, then it's just something that's part of being human. Humans are naturally selfish. We want many things to still be, but wisdom is knowing that you have to let it go and understand that it cannot always be.
Yeah.
Eventually your time will run out, regardless if you're a god.
She's actually laughing at that. Like, you would think that being Lumerian, you're not supposed to live this long either, but here I am finding out the hard way, and the only person that truly made it worth it was him. Not immortal, time is very slow for me. I guess it's the best way to explain it.
Nyx nods. And in time you will meet him in the ether that he returned to, as we all go to.
Yeah, but first, we have to make sure the star doesn't get eaten in some way.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's strange, but I still feel like there's a way to help Roya. This is not a normal madness for him. Something happened. I'm not sure what.
Well, be curious and ask questions, but just don't get in trouble or caught.
Well, he still doesn't know I have a simulacrum running around with you, so I think I'm doing pretty well.
Nyx nods.
But, I still feel that he has a big role to play in saving this star.
I don't doubt
sorry.
it.
And I know most would rather kill him for what he's done as of late, but I don't think that's the answer.
I don't believe so either.
I will do
I
what I
have
can
no
from
hard or strong feelings at the moment about your friend, Roya.
I say it lightly because I am very well aware. A lot of this was our fault. We were, as you would say, the bad guys back then, and it's... Where do you begin to fix it? But I guess making sure the star doesn't end.
There's always a start. Good intentions, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
But that's in the past. What you're doing now is more important than what you did in the past, as far as I can see.
Yeah. Did Mirios see Nyx in that dream state, or no? Nyx just saw Mirios.
Nyx just saw Mirios.
Oh, okay, so she would know. I just want to make sure I know what I know and what I don't know. So,
yeah, and that's why Nyx also felt like they could approach you because they're probing Mirios to understand them and
she's trying
get a personality.
Yeah,
on them.
she's trying to survive and help the star to survive, but again, she's under thumb right now. You know, I'm not sure where to go from here. I was mainly
well, you're
sent
certainly
to go...
not a spy.
No, that would be my friend who said the most peculiar thing. And I think he was trying to say something. His spy master, which is an old friend of mine, was at the cliffs and stated...
Nyx kind of furrows their brow.
And she's like, hold it, because I also... He is loyal to the person who sits on that throne.
I understand.
That doesn't necessarily mean Roya.
I understand, but that doesn't change the fact that he was there.
He has to be. He's loyal to Roya, but he is doing what he can.
So he was ordered to be there, is what you're saying?
Yeah.
He kind of thinks. I wonder what his mission was.
Not entirely sure.
I wonder if he was just trying to keep an eye on whatever nonsense was happening with the wars. Probably wait till the city was weak enough to just turn over, but he clearly has forces that can turn over a city.
He's trying to annihilate any rulers on this planet.
Hmm.
Any of them.
Then why would he send a spy master?
To keep an eye on things. Information is very powerful.
Information is very powerful,
And
but
if
I'm
he's
wondering
also-
what he's specifically looking for. That's the curious thought.
I don't know. He could also be trying to keep an eye on your lot, given that he is very much after Canis. To make him suffer.
Nyx kind of turns on see invisibility and does a scan of the whole room.
Sup?
Look,
Standing right
Nyx
there.
is a spy master too. They know how this bullshit works. They're the most suspicious motherfucker out there. They don't like any coincidences to exist.
Aaron, damn it!
Hey, just to be real, if this was Elliot, Elliot would not give a fuck.
No, I know.
What's going on?
We love Elliot's.
We do. Except Pharrell.
It's so much fun.
Such a goober. Yeah, Nyx is just a paranoid fuck.
She's
She's
just
also a
trying to
hypocrite.
She's just trying to help you out as best she can, being that, you know, right now she's able to be in two places at once, and following what little she does know.
Oh, yeah, like, just to be clear, Nyx might not have gotten this tone, but Nyx is like, you're not a spy. Like, it was just,
Yeah.
like, a factual thing of, like, you suck at being a spy. There's no way in fuck you would be a spy.
She's too tired to give a shit about being a spy. She's like, that was never my job. I was an advisor and the mother of time magic. And it's been 5,000 fucking years, so.
Does Mirios already know about Nyx seeing dreams of Roya? Did they already explain that?
I don't know if you said that to her specifically. Or with her being
I
in
wasn't
the room.
sure
I
if it
don't-
was like a group
I think that was,
session.
no, that was back in the vault, I think.
Gotcha. So
That was
Nyx
before
did
Mirios
not
showed
do
up.
That.
No.
Gotcha. All right. Then Nyx will discuss that unless something catches their eye.
Yeah, she doesn't know about the dreams. She doesn't know that Aor is Roya. She doesn't know any of that. Cotton knows. She's just like, okay, whatever. Keep your secrets, Magic Man.
Uh-huh.
She just knows that there's something wrong with Roya, and the version of Roya she sees right now is absolutely fucking bonkers and dangerous, and doesn't know what to do currently.
I don't know if Mirios would spot this, but Nyx does pause for a moment and looks back to Mirios. Just like it was just like a brief flicker of a moment.
Do you need me to have her make a check or some shit?
It's up to them if they care enough about what Nyx's reaction is.
I mean, she's talking directly to her, so she'd be paying attention to her, but I don't know if that'd be insight or perception.
Probably insight. Just to glean what that whole thing
Oh,
was
she's
about.
got a proficiency in that. It's a +7.
Okay.
Wake up. Did it wake up? Did it read? I didn't click that.
I
That's
did.
you.
That was me.
Okay, now it's awake. Is it? Hello? It went to sleep.
Wake up.
Alright. That's a 19 plus
Love it when that
7?
happens.
A
Guys
19 plus
just
7?
taking a nap.
Yeah, so 26. She's proficient in insight.
Okay. You do see witness Nyx's eyes linger for a moment, but then like go back to paying attention to you. as
Linger
if,
on
like,
what?
just a corner of the room, but like just goes back to looking at you and continues on with the conversation.
There's just a brow raise from Mirios. Like, I saw that, but I'll let you say something if you wish to, but I'm not gonna force it out of you.
Gotcha. Nyx will keep that in mind, Aaron, and will go to that person after finishing the conversation with Mirios, if it is timely. Okay. But Nyx is like, well, I just wanted to let you know that I have been in contact with your, at least a part or a piece or whichever who it is that is calling himself Roya.
How?
I believe.
Does that have anything to do with the god? It's not the sleep god, not the Sandman.
Yeah, it is the Sandman.
It is the Sandman? Yeah, it's just like, would that have to do with the god of sleep?
Nyx nods. So you know of that.
He's actively looking for the other lesser known one. I had to go and warn Beltania about that.
Gotcha. Well, I believe that it was him that was connecting me and Roya in dreams, and I was able to converse with him. And from descriptions of what you and Sav have mentioned, clearly he isn't quite himself, so I can confirm that at least.
No.
So keep doing what you do. And hopefully we can gather enough information to try to save whatever part of him that we need to save to stop the Dreadnought.
You're gonna need him.
Nyx nods. I believe so too.
Didn't have much hope for this star continuing, since for a while I thought he was dead, but
Oh no, just buried somewhere according to Dr. Cottonelle. And then released by a very...
A what?
By an Umbrian.
Which
Nyx
one?
Is like, thinking of Modius.
Which one?
I believe, his name was Modius.
Oh joy.
The memory of Modius Tharum Fala falls upon you, Mirios. He was the strangest one at the trial.
Mm-hmm.
His punishment was something different. You can tell he was almost staring at the king with some kind of intent. This malice, this perceived weakness.
Does
But
she
you
get the same sense that she gets around this current Roya?
In a way,
her insight is good. She
Yeah,
has she's proficient in it. It's a +7, but she's proficient in it.
you would be able to detect that there are some inklings that some things match Modius Dawnfalla. Certain personality traits, certain behaviors, but a lot of what you had understood that day. One of the very few things is, upon his pleading, he accepted his punishment. He was not graceful about it, but rather he saw this punishment as foolish. And moreover, in the eyes, those deep blue, galaxy-like eyes, there was almost this glimmer of the eldritch truth behind them. He understood something that nobody did that day. He understood something when he saw through that telescope. But at the time, who cared? All that mattered was punishment.
Mirios putting some things together, remembering that trial, she just out of just reaction, her hand is on Nyx's shoulder, like a little tight, not harmful, just oh sweet Jesus, kind of like holding her under her shoulder for a second. You're sure it was him?
From Cottonelle's report, you would have to talk to them if you wanted to get every single inkling of the detail, as I only heard it third hand, I believe.
Nyx, if what you're saying is true, there's a very high chance that he's involved with this version of Roya right now.
Fucking knew it. God, I got the fucking creeps from that guy from the beginning, but I couldn't put my finger on it.
I thought it was just madness, but little things made sense. Even the sudden, even the racism. It wasn't. That's not Roya.
The madness might be attributed to the conflicts of their personalities.
Exactly.
Because I would also go batshit crazy if I had a fucking dickbag whispering in my ear and controlling my body.
So he summoned forth this fragment of Roya and he was gone? I don't think he's gone.
Nick shrugs. Like, I would like more solid evidence, but so far the coincidences seem to point to something at least.
If he's there, we have to remove him.
I agree. We need the part of Roya that will help us defeat the Dreadnought.
Speaking of Dreadnought, you said this physical form of Roya that she's stuck with has, like, these weird etchings on his arms or something that look like parts of the Dreadnought?
You notice on the right hand, when he performs certain behaviors, it begins to expand out further into his hand. But yes, it does almost have these same etchings and markings that kind of just run up the side of the arm, but more prevalently, the palm looks like the massive eye that you see on the Dreadnought.
Yeah. She would... Sorry, I was gonna say, she's gonna ask for paper real quick.
Yeah.
She's gonna start drawing this. As best she can. I mean, she's not an artist, but it's enough to tell. It's just...
Understand that the Umbrians looked past the moon and witnessed the Dreadnought.
Mm-hmm.
Now you've all seen the Dreadnought. You see it in the sky.
Mm-hmm.
And if he's with Roya in some way, it looks like part of the Dreadnought is on his arm.
I saw that.
This is probably more complicated than we thought it is.
And anyone else can see this, by the way, of just the frantic suddenly drawing on the table of realization hitting Mirios like a fucking bus.
Nyx is like, points at the drawing. It's just like, I saw that on his arm. In the dream.
You've met him. In some way, right?
I mean, he, like, drop-kicked his brother through a room when he first showed up, and, yeah, declared that he was the king of everything, so that was the first time I saw him. And then started seeing him in the dream, and I saw his arm, or at least a hand. I was concerned about it as a physician, but he wouldn't.
You want
let
to say
me,
something, Aaron?
Look at it.
Yeah.
As the realization of this discovery and notes begin to trade, the rest of you finally begin to shuffle back to reconvening on what your next move is. But before that, and I understand, I'm trying to make sure we stay on time.
Yeah.
This is where we're going to go ahead and take a break.
Roger.
Break time!
Yeah. So, we will have everybody convene and bring their ideas together and also some information that might need to be provided. But with that being said, we're going to go ahead. We're going to take a quick 10-minute break and then we'll be back. So, see you all then.
Cool.
All right. Break time.
Yay.
How we doing?
Ecstatic.
Talked about Dropout behind the scenes. Hey, y'all should
Because
join the
Dropout's great.
Patreon so you could watch the extras.
Hey, Patreon,
Yeah.
you get to see my doggy visit.
Yeah, and Banjo.
Puppy.
Alright, so with that being said, let us get into the rest of our session. As you all begin to slowly converge, I will give you guys any last opportunities you want to have with NPCs or with each other before.
Yeah, I think Citra's just giving Dagex affection here and there before they leave because, yeah, that's about it, really. There's not much else they can really say.
Yeah. Nyx is gonna let Mirios do their little scribble thing and go and try to find Aor.
You find Aor amongst the tall shelves that kind of just split in multiple different directions. But
And that person that I saw, are they still like just following Aor?
they're kind of just sitting, letting one leg up kind of close to the chest while the other one just dangles off the side of the shelf, watching, observing.
Very casual.
Yeah.
Just kind of stands beside Aor, back facing the individual.
This is kind of the head going through some documentation. Is there something that you need?
You to be careful.
I have been outstandingly doing that for some time now.
So much that you have a shadow?
Always has been.
So you know of them?
I know that they will not harm me. I mean, he knows that much. However, he is tempted to discover the truth behind me.
I'll try to be a little bit more careful with that.
I have the benefit of having the blessing of the goddess of magic to keep me well protected. However, there are limitations to that blessing.
Do you wish to elaborate or keep it vague?
I can feel almost as if it is beyond just normal sight. I can feel people push through the weave. This tapestry that encompasses everything. It encompasses you. It encompasses them. I can see it all. And yet, it's a cruel design or cruel joke. I cannot assuage it.
A little bit of sensory overload, I suppose.
It is not something that I am incapable of dealing with. Probably no different than being able to deal with my little shadow.
Well, so long as you know that your shadow exists, trying to hint that they have spotted the shadow and just like, I won't tell anybody if it's something that you don't want me to talk about.
They are quiet. They are observant.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually, it'll all lead back to him one way or another, but I know this for a fact. Somebody is withholding something. I am assuming he's waiting for me to say something in return. It is smart to assume that he knows better. As he always has.
So you know who the shadow is.
Yes. Will that be all?
They know that I spotted them, so there's that much. So if he causes any trouble,
I'll know of it. But it seems like he has a very specific directive. Not yet, no. But we'll find out one way or the other. Won't we?
Anything else that you're planning?
Everything. Every moment.
Nyx kind of rolls their
every
eyes a little
hour
bit.
of every day.
For someone who's supposedly good at being logical and planning, you're terrible about communicating it. But, regardless.
Do you want me to be quite honest with you, Nyx?
Preferably, but you don't have to if you do not trust me.
It is not a matter of trust. It is about how useful you are to me right now. I know that might sound painful to hear.
Nyx just
You
kind of
are-
gives like a sly smile, like, go on.
You are valuable. You are useful. And you are exactly what it is that I need at a time like this.
You kind of
Does that
tilt their
make
head
you-
at that.
That does not make you my friend. That does not make you my enemy. That just makes you useful. The determination of the former will come later.
I see. You gave me a good perspective to think about. Especially if I come in contact with a certain someone. If I do.
And I hope that it is valuable for both of us.
Well, keep trying to find that humanity. Wish you luck.
I wish so too. See, as the head turns back into the documentation. As all of you convene towards this massive round table, discussions amongst each other. Not only plans for the next move, but also perhaps information to be traded amongst one another.
Nyx looks at Murios.
She'll just hand her the little sheet. Just.
Nyx doesn't take it out of their hand. Nyx is
No.
like, no, just tell them.
If my assumptions are correct after what you've told me and what I remember, that's not just Roya that's up there with me right now, but also Modius. This would explain the madness that I'm seeing and the severe shift in personality. Something was very strange with him back in that trial. And to hear that he was the one that found his fragment and brought him back, and he just conveniently vanishes, I don't think he would just roll over and die. He didn't like Roya, especially back then. This feels like a plan that he's had in a long time coming. And given that this, and she's pointing to the hand of what looks like the circle on the dreadnought, it feels like he is working with the dreadnought in some way. This was not there back then. I don't think it was there either when Canis, you dealt with him then too. Was it?
Do I remember it? Whether
If you'd notice a big weird thing on his hand.
yeah.
You don't remember it. You don't remember it being there when you fought him the first time, but it was there the second time when he ripped the power of Plumeria from you. And Arya, you remember it because it was the ability to rip the power of your godhood out of you as well.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, is Arya present for this?
Yeah, this is everybody's back together again.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah. You do remember in session 0 when he drawed the spark out of you.
Okay. That's how my spark was stolen.
Then it seems like he's using some power of the Dreadnought to do so. I've seen him use it.
So, if we are to attain godhood, how are we to stop him from using that during the battle that will ensue with us?
That I do not know. But I know you're going to need Roya, but in order to have Roya's help, you have to remove Modius.
Think maybe that spell we decoded would work, Canis?
Possibly. So far, that is our one option. Whether or not it works.
But you will
Take a
have
shot.
to. You will have to be on the level of a god to be dealing with him.
We know.
Still a lot of work ahead, but
I don't know what much else I can do, except keep my head down and do as he asks, but so long as I have the simulacrum, I can use it to communicate with you if I can. Because I'm assuming simulacrums exist for as long as however you need it to, unless you, like, use all your spell slots or you get knocked out, so...
They don't have a duration. It's
No?
not a concentration,
Yeah,
it's just you make a simulacrum, and it can't recharge its own spell slots, and the only spell slot it's missing is the one used to create the simulacrum.
Yeah.
So, in terms of this, this form of Murios could remain here indefinitely.
Yeah. So basically, she's stating, use me as you need, essentially. The good news is that as a spellcasting Lumerian, he cannot read my mind.
You see, as Sov points over, mayhaps, if you are capable of, You stay here within the Black Archives, researching, try and find anything
If
useful.
that's allowed. And she's
Doesn't-
kind of like looking at the rest of the dragons in this room.
And see as Carmilla is kind of just sitting on her chair. Feel free. There is no Sapphire King to oversee it. Just merely old dragons trying to keep the world from falling apart.
She just gives a nod. I'll look to see if anything about separating a soul from another soul. I'm not sure exactly how he's intertwined with him, but I can imagine it's probably nothing simple. Did Cotton come back yet, or is she still working on those glasses for Wenry?
She's still working on them.
Okay.
It takes a minute to craft that stuff.
I don't think Mirius has much else to really say. She's not going to talk about the other vision because it is what it is, you know?
Yeah.
That's personal.
Oh yeah, that one's personal. Nyx is not gonna spread that unless it's
Yeah.
to Fuchsia specifically. So, and maybe Salazar.
Eyebrow
I mean-
raise.
You were the only one that wanted to talk to the Time Lady, so bonus points for you, Nyx.
Thumbs up. I like digging into other people's trash like a fucking raccoon.
And she's a 5,000-year-old being, so she's got a lot of things she could tell you.
Funny trash lady.
Would she
Very
know
much.
that the Stand-Tide can get them to the moon?
Potentially, yeah.
Yeah, so she's just kind of like, okay, well, that information is done. However, from what I overheard, you all need to get to the moon, but if you have the help of the Sandtide and Roloi, that shouldn't be too much of a problem.
Well, who knows what shenanigans he got up to while we were doing our thing, but...
Can you not communicate with him?
I don't think so. Not from within the archives. Maybe?
Sending works just fine.
I don't have sending.
No, but Canis and Citra do.
Yes.
And they would know Roloi by now, so...
Don't we all have items that let
No.
us cast sending?
No, just this group, not Roloi. Roloi stayed on the ship, remember?
Yeah.
Roller only has the smaller
Winry
mileage.
has a ring sending stone, but the problem is that's 1,000 foot.
Yeah.
Oh,
but
right.
again-
I forgot about that.
But Citra and Canis have sending, specifically that spell. And I'm pretty sure he knows how to get to Volflora, if they even know that's where they're at, technically. Do they know they're in Volflora?
The rest of the party?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Citra just be like, I could just call him. It's not that hard.
If you'd be so kind.
So she'll use one of the spell slots to use sending to send a Roloi. Just, we're gonna need your help to go to the moon. We're in Volflora. Sorry.
I liked most of that sentence. I'm on my way. Wait, where are you? Oh, right,
Volflora?
Volflora.
Yeah. She's like,
Well-
I like this guy. He's funny.
Well, in terms of like the best location, Volflora would be it, but in terms of where you guys are, that remains entirely ambiguous.
Yeah. But essentially, I think the idea was that Volflora is like their exit point for now or some shit in some way. Like, vague enough.
Yes.
A point that he can get to, you know?
Yeah.
He said he likes most of what I said and he's on his way.
Yeah, that's Roloi.
Miros just kind of nods. That sounds like him.
Well, alright, so we've got our ride arranged. I guess we're just waiting for Tasha then, and then we can take off.
And I will be remaining here for now.
You be safe, Marios.
Well, so far I'm fine. I don't think he has anything to assume I suddenly made a double, so.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
You see as Talion also kind of perks up a bit. That just leaves me. I'm not exactly sure if there's any particular thing that I will be in need to know of.
Besides your brother needing to be fixed with the whole time thing.
That's beyond my power, unfortunately. But I would like to at least consider... I have had a couple of thoughts as he looks towards Canis. I believe it's time that I attempt to try and reconvene with Mother. Or at least try and get Mother to reconvene here.
Back to the Feywild, then.
For a small sojourn, I'm sure. But I feel a lot more comfortable heading there, knowing what I know and feeling a lot more confident, personally.
Good to hear.
Well then, seems like everybody has their plans. As you see as his head turns towards Dagex. Myself and Sav will be heading to the Vithrin Vault in Orvheim. It is the
Teacher
only
just gives
place.
Dageg's hand a squeeze.
It is the only entrance there. Once I'm through, I'll make my way back here to the Black Archives.
Just like I said, be careful.
See as Sav. Also, we will probably be doing our best to try and communicate with those within Excelsium who are avoiding the madness. So,
Well, you remember where it is. She's not saying what place for now. She's keeping it kind of quiet for because there's other people here.
only those who have been there can go there, or know how to get there.
Yeah. Also, Dagex, I apologize now if you meet my grandmother. Just go with it. You'll understand when you meet her.
Gotcha. You see as finally the kind of just like bright whitely armored individual as he kind of perks up. Well then, it seems like everyone has a mission and a plan. As for the other members of the Black Archives, we will be doing our best to, again, try and keep the world from falling apart.
So just thank you. We're trying
Please
our best.
and thank you.
Yes, of course. With that being said, all of you do be safe. I don't know any of your names for the most part.
Oh,
But
we
you
did
all
go
look-
through introductions last time.
No, yeah, we did. So he
Oh,
would
we
know.
did.
Whether or not he cared to remember is a different story.
Fair.
All I know is that you all make such wonderful stories to tell in the future.
You're really funny. I like you. It's just Cedra.
I like you too, little blue one.
Why do they keep calling me that?
White, blue. You're like a
think it
hue
may
of
be
the
your
sky.
Thank you.
Everybody loves the colors of the sky.
It
Again,
kind of blinks.
Cedra's unfazed by this.
Is this man high as a kite, or is he just like this?
He's just like this. You see Arthas Agate as he's kind of just like
Exhausting.
pushed in the face by Igdemus as you see just the very tired version of him. Don't mind him. He's just annoying. Over-enthusiastic. Annoying. Anyways,
Energetic.
Yeah, just kind of like pushing him off to the side. I will do my best to try and collect more information on what's been happening, especially with some of the other nations. Just don't expect too much of me.
Okay.
Alright.
Odd thumbs up.
You see as he kind of just tiredly wakes his way out of the room.
The caffeine wore off.
And you see as Carmilla, who's just been at her seat, I will stay here. This is my home just as much as any other place, but I want to keep a close eye on all the little beings that have made their way into my den.
Is she talking about Aor and Mirios at this point?
She's talking about all of you.
Oh, okay.
There have never been this many mortal lives in this room before.
Fair.
And so there's a level of protectiveness of it.
Yep.
Very valid.
And you see as the much more older gentleman. As for me, I have a very specific task to assure that Lady Zara is well and protected, as well as Lady Cotton, to assure that the Black Archives do not fall into the wrong hands. So with that said, I will be seeking her ladyship a little bit later.
Oh, and if you could tell Zara I say hi, and I would love to promise her a trip on Santide next we get the chance.
I will relay.
Thank you.
This is a great worm babysitting a child. I just love this.
Was a... He has raised many a family over his many lives.
Yeah. I'm assuming he's sticking around until Cotton gets back anyway, because she's got to give Winry the glasses.
Yeah. Okay. As it comes down, do when all of you desire to leave?
I wonder if Tasha was going to visit us. We're kind of
I don't know if
Finishing
she
up
meant
the
to
meeting.
visit us outside the archives or in the archives.
I
True.
don't know, but I
That
guess...
may be more
Sal-
the case.
Did she tell you anything specific, Salazar?
I don't remember.
Was he caught in the middle of
It
stretching?
was a long time ago.
I know it was like a message for Cotton from Tasha, because at least Salazar doesn't run the risk of getting shot.
I hope not.
She'd have no reason to shoot you. She's mad at her dad, not you.
Maybe being
What
caught in
did
the mid.
Tasha say about meeting us?
I just remember it was something about the archives.
It was about Cotton. Tasha had a message that she needed for Cotton, but she's like, I can't talk to Cotton without getting shot, so...
It was so long ago.
I know.
Sorry. I can't remember which episode that was. It's somewhere in the notes.
That was in the
I'm looking.
the first horde in Vale.
Not Vale.
No, but Vale, Alernon. You know what I mean.
learning.
Salazar just forgot because he got caught up in the middle of a polycule.
Blindsided by a polycule.
The great brain reset.
He used to be so lonely, now he has 2 girlfriends.
A lot is happening.
So it's 16 out of them?
Yeah, because Citra called her to the first horde, and she had a message for Salazar to tell to Cotton, because, again, just those two are not on great terms.
Which is
You
why it
might
was
have
prudent
to-
to at least
yeah.
warn her that she would be in the vicinity.
It goes back even further. We might have to look into...
Invited by Arthur to help intervene.
Now, this was a while ago.
She-
I may not have gotten all the details in there.
She asked Salazar to go to the Black Archives. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I
It's
found it.
entertaining for anybody listening.
Yeah, no, I found it. She did not make any promise about going to the Black Archives.
Okay, so yeah, we're not waiting for Tasha. I think we're just waiting for Cotton to give Bunry the glasses real quick.
Okay.
before
She'll
we
probably
leave.
just show up or something if
Okay.
she
Yep.
feels like it.
Pops into existence.
She'll be along when she decides. She's
Yep.
got other things to deal with.
Yeah.
All right. Well then, as the hour passes, you find yourselves equipping and preparing for your next leg of your adventures. As to return, you see as both Rudy and as well as Dr. Cottonelle as she approaches with what looks like to be these very cool looking goggles. They strap that kind of has these varying colors that kind of just align the side of it. And the front you can kind of see with what looks like to be these beautiful deep sapphire gems that act as a means to see through the darkness.
This is
Here you
probably
go.
the fanciest pair of goggles I've ever seen.
You think I would set you up otherwise? Come on,
I
your
expected
family.
something. I expected something a little modest, but hey,
That was all
I
Rudy's
won't say
idea,
no to this.
partially. Not gonna lie.
Rudy.
I'm trying to currently debate on whether or not I'll be going, and I wanted to at least make sure you'll be able to see up there.
Well, hey, I might as well give it a shot. And Winry
Yeah.
will carefully don the goggles, watching out for her horns, making sure it sits comfortably over her hair.
It does not need attunement.
Thank
luckily.
fuck.
It provides you up to 120 feet of dark vision in hues of deep blue.
Wow, everything is so blue.
Well, you can
more
see.
blue than it was.
Dabba-dee-dabba-die.
Yeah. Listen, you guys are apparently our biggest hope for the Earth the star continuing, and Zara and her eventual brother or sister would like that to be the actual future we all get. So,
Excuse me, the what?
you heard me.
Cotton, you're holding out on me. Oh my gosh.
I told you I was in a delicate state, and stressing me out wasn't a great idea. Work on your delivery.
Touche. Holly
just a
is going to get
smarmy
so
little
much
grin.
news.
Yep.
And you see as there's now a much more specific reason given Bertrand's disposition.
I told you I'd be back. I didn't do anything crazy.
Well, then, all of you are prepared to make your departure.
Give Reloy a hug, and yes, you can tell him.
Yeah, you know what? I'm not going to keep that news from him because I don't think I could.
I think he'd be more mad at me if I told you not to.
You know what? We're probably going to. You're probably going to get a sending from him or a message, something.
I'm sure. It's just loud noises.
Just like ah. But yes, as soon as we see him, I am notifying him.
He just gives her a hug. Just be safe. Never been to the moon, but I can only imagine it's crazy.
With all these people here, I think I should be okay.
Good. And she'll just give Salazar a look like, I'm not mad at you. So don't weasel that away in your head.
Thank you.
So just do me a favor and survive and make sure the star continues. That's all I ask. Nothing too crazy.
I only promise to try.
Sounds good enough for me. I guess we should show them how to get out of here so they can go meet up with Reloy.
Alright. As a lot of you slowly begin to shuffle out, Salazar, as
Nice to be.
right before you begin to cross the thresholds of the doors, you're kind of just tapped on the shoulder by Talion.
Not expecting it, will just sort of turn quickly and look. Oh.
Yes.
Do forgive me, if I may. If I may at least try and incline on you. My father is a bit rough. And
He just folds his arms in front of his chest.
I know what has been done. If I
He
can,
just raises his eyebrow.
The brow just keeps rising.
if I can give one sort of certainty, I do not want to perpetuate I don't want to perpetuate anger or hatred. And regardless of what my father thinks, I think it was wrong.
Well, finally, someone with common sense. Genocide is wrong. Who would have thought?
I don't know what to really... I hope someday that we might seek something that is at least a semblance of friendship.
I have never met you until this point. I know who you are. that does not beholden you to the actions of your forefathers. If you're trying to reach out, that's one thing. You are not your father, just the way that I am not my people. But I want to make one thing clear. Your father and his party, I will never forgive them.
I understand. I know a lot about you. At least
Raises the other eyebrow.
That's not ominous.
Do you?
My mother has heard tale of a man that had healed across the realms of Elanon and Wallenstein. A non-threat. Somebody that cared. I also heard that you aspired to higher forms of learning and healing and magic. That is something that I also aspire to, at least to understand.
Is that so? You're interested in medicine, then?
I'm interested in medicine, the stars, magic. I'm interested in knowledge long lost. I'm interested in great minds.
Well,
He sort of looks over his shoulder at the rest of the group, then looks back.
perhaps when all of this is over, I may be elevated to more divine duties, but I have always wanted an apprentice. Plus, the irony is delicious.
And let us see what happens.
Well, now we have to save the star, because I've got to see this.
You see in the kind of just very young mind, there is something that is beyond the normalcies of those interested in higher learning. This is somebody who craves knowledge from whatever corner. Make me an insight check.
Here I go.
See how far down you can inspect.
That is a natural one.
Alright.
Oh dear. Ouch.
You see
I feel like that
before
fits
you-
considering you're thinking of that.
Yeah. You see somebody who very obviously does not care about the morality of this conflict or this this assuasion from familial bond. But rather what you do see is a bright mind looking to even step over the rules of gods in order to learn something.
What's your name again, boy?
Talion Metilius.
Talion. I'll remember that.
And then he turns and walks off.
As you walk off, and as you find yourselves going through this massive door that, one by one, as you shuffle into the massive underwater city of Volflora.
Citra is gobsmacked.
So good to be back here.
It's so
It's been a while.
pretty.
Yep, this is
It's all shiny.
This is a very secret place. Something kept safe for the more unsavory seafaring folk. But
Pirates?
No worries. Yes. But no worries. There are no conflicts here in Volflora. There are rules, so we're safe.
Considering that her Cotton's fucking husband runs the place now.
Speaking of,
I'm pretty sure she's
I
already
know,
told
he's-
Mirad. Okay.
no. I know that Wenry just wants to talk to him because she hasn't seen him in forever.
He's busy.
As you all begin to walk out into the city, you see kind of just what looks like to be this massive bubble that goes down for miles upon miles, this massive city, and very much ocean nautical themes. You see also in the center is this massive tower that kind of acts as like this this emitter for this place. You notice that almost as you take note, as ships that kind of make their way in pass by this barrier and slowly float down into several docks that line a majority of the city.
Citra's just tugging on Arya's arm, like, look.
Yeah. Moreover,
I'm
moreover, you notice several different simians and as well as tritons, sea elves, and water genasi, and a variant of humans and tieflings and whatnot, but it is mostly sea folk that thrive here within this lost underwater city of pirates.
Like I said, Citra right now is like a hyperactive kid, just overwhelmed by all the shiny, cool things that are happening around her right now.
You can see also just, several buildings all just seemingly have water that just flows out of it naturally. Even though the cities are not like wet, it's just, it emits this kind of almost SeaWorld-ish kind of vibe.
If you know, you know.
Yeah.
Ow, sorry, just might be busted against the table.
Oh no!
Don't do that.
Well, I'm
Just
pretty
dying.
sure as they go along, Wenry's more than happy to point out a few of the points that she recognizes from her last visits.
Alright.
Oh, and up that way is a wonderful little hat shop.
Yeah. Just pointing out that Citra's the happiest she's been in the past few days. Like, she's kind of bouncing back now.
I'm guessing Wenry also probably recognizes a lot of the ships coming in, just like, okay, so that belongs to that person's here, da-da-da-da.
I mean, you were working with Mirad very closely.
Arya kind of turns to Citra. You seem happier than I've seen you in a while. I'm glad.
Thanks. Well, I got to talk about it a lot with... She doesn't really mention at first, but then she just kind of like, Nex and Salazar and Leodon helped, and then...
Good.
Reuniting with Tactics really did help. And I guess the vision of there is a future and hope, so... Why waste your time just being sad all the time when you can find things to be happy about?
You're wise for your age.
No, I'm not, but thank you. Given the fact that Nex kind of had to read her own rights, like, honey, we don't do this. This bad, unhealthy.
The raccoon that gives you wisdom when you open up the trash can tin. Just like, yes, you are depressed.
Need a comic of that now. It's like the wisdom provided by the little raccoon in the trash bin. Just this.
Raccoon of the pool, what is your wisdom? Shit's fucking wet.
Shit's fucking wet.
I should have picked a fish.
We have a star to save. I have my dad's soul and Airless soul to save. We still have time. There is still hope. So I'm gonna focus on that.
Good. We will fix this. Everything that's so fucked up right now, we will fix it.
Also, we're in a hidden city. This is really cool.
It's kind of cool.
A hidden city accessible only to those who have the right key to get through it.
Teacher's just like, oh my god. Like, just kid on Christmas right now. This is so wild to her.
Ari just feels like the mom when the...
She's behaving. She's not running off because no one in this group would catch her.
No. But you know how like the angsty teenagers when they like hole up in their room a lot.
Yeah.
It's like Citra came out of her room. That's how Arya feels metaphorically.
Aw, she was just grieving, not emo.
No.
I'm just a kid.
I was trying to make a silly analogy.
Where are you?
Where are you?
I'm so sorry.
God. Alright, as you all begin to traverse and as you make your way towards the docks, you see the beautiful ship of the Sand Tide still kind of raring and ready to head out. However, you do take note to the slight raised voices of conversation of Rolloy and another individual. One that has been keeping tabs as to what has been happening around Volflora. As all of you arrive, you see both Rolloy as well as this very, very tall Fire Genasi man. As Murad stands before all of you.
That is teacher's answer. Wow, he's tall.
And there is the sound of tuck, 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 tuck. Murad!
She knows.
Like leans down as the sound, like still facing Rolloy, but does like the most dad thing where he just leans down to like hug Winry in the side arm and pick her up, and like still talking to Rolloy.
And now technically it's my ship, but
Oh no!
Okay, no.
legally it is your ship.
You are watching over the ship. You are the manager.
I am some sort of
First
celestial
mate.
predestined valet for the heroes of the world.
Well, we have place to be, but first of all, Murad, I just heard. Congratulations.
Oh, thank you. You should also congratulate Rolloy, as he is, even though he is very many years late.
Oh, trust me. Yeah,
we know.
I got that news.
I should be congratulated. And someone else should be jeered and kicked off the ship for withholding that information from me.
Oh.
Yeah,
I wonder who that could be.
You probably should have let us know sooner.
Me?
Cotton knew too. She just said nothing.
I had to hear it from the deepness of the universe.
Well, you were
And you
gone.
could have just told me.
I don't know how. You do realize I'm
Me
a
neither.
person that doesn't know how to do
Alexander was
fucking magic.
shitting, and
Who's Alexander?
then everything got all frozen.
Uh-huh.
And then I woke up and I knew.
Okay, so you can go out into space? The ship can go out into space, correct?
Oh yes,
We have to
Okay,
I
go
was
to the
floating
moon.
through. I was floating through the astral sea for a number of months.
Okay, good, because we need to go to the moon.
I'm a war hero.
Where's your bag?
Yeah, kind of furrows his brow like, you are?
Yeah. See all these medals? Look at the. Grew a mustache and everything.
Were they led this way, or did they just find their way here? Because if not, who led them here?
It would have been Winry to lead them to the docks.
Yeah.
So, okay. So you saved a place outside of the star.
Well, saved is. I'm a war hero. I don't know if saved is the correct word. I banged the princess and then I left.
just like
typical
rubs
real life.
his brow. It's just like, just don't tell him.
The rest of
another
us
about
just
that.
slow blink because the rest of us have not met Mirad.
Listen, I'm a
That's
free
right.
spirit, baby.
Yeah,
That's right. Before I
I
forget,
would love to see you tell her that straight to her face.
Yes. Before I forget, Murad, this is, and she's going to just name everybody who's there. I can't remember everybody who's there at the time being, but
It's just us. It's just the player characters.
okay, it's just us. Okay. All right, Murad, you remember Salazar. This is Citra. That's Canis. This is Arya, the goddess, and this is our buddy. What would you prefer I call you? Next. This is towards next.
Like Willow or Next.
Because I trust this man. Everything,
It is
with everything,
like-
You do
inside out,
know-
upside down.
Next would know that this is the Runt's husband.
Right.
You could put the entire length of Winry on top of Nyx, and it would still be too short.
Yeah. There's only
Exactly.
one person that Citra knows that is taller, and that is still Leodon.
You're free to call me whichever at this point when it comes to this family.
Okay, so you know Fuchsia. This is her partner.
Hi. I've heard stuff about you. It's like, I've heard. It's like, and it's very true, all of it.
And you're so beautiful. No, you're so beautiful. You're tall, you're short.
Yeah. It's just like, and she is the best. Mm-hmm. But like, he kind of like turns his head back to like Canis. He's like, Canis.
They're
Canis?
not.
Yes.
Yeah, they're not here to
Yes.
cause problems.
He kind of makes a face, but it's just like,
Why would
I
I,
know,
cause a problem?
know.
Well,
But
remember
Canis,
Canis, the
Canis
whole
has been
thing
a
with
big part
his.
of the party.
Remember, technically, Harleen worked under you. Harleen tried to have his wife murdered, and my boyfriend almost followed that rule. That.
yes, one of your underlings tried to kill my wife, and I don't very much appreciate that. But I also left you the snack, so.
No, he left Daggix the snack.
But the other one was fine, I guess. He was just doing his job, but.
Cotton already kind of was very much reminded Daggix and Canis what happened, in her own words.
Good. As she should. Giving him an eye. He has an eye patch over one of his eyes. Just as to be clear of like who you're looking at is like a fire genasi who has a bandana and his hair tied back, dreaded
post the
hair
pic.
tied back, and
Hold on,
and like
I
the
got
tips are like flaming up and stuff like that. And extremely tall and tan skinned and very handsome.
Listen,
Very
I think I've seen art of him before.
Yes, you
Very,
have.
very
You have.
covered in tattoos.
here
Yeah.
you go.
There he is.
Oh yeah, I recognize that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if he's giving Canis a look, he's just indifference in return.
The world's ending.
Do you know the stress I've been under and the bullshit I have to deal with on a daily basis? And now the world's ending? Good.
Sure. Doesn't change the fact that you can be a dick sometimes.
The teacher's like,
Yes!
Nix gives a small smile to that. It's just like,
I
yes,
live,
excellent.
I thrive, I am DM for this.
And I know your son. Yeah. Neat kid.
That he is.
Yeah.
Which one?
Kind of squints at him a little bit more. Just like, hello, doctor. And then looks to Salazar.
which son?
Oh gosh, the one that likes the pink one.
Benedictus.
Benedict. That one.
I love how you say the pink
The
one
pink
as one of your pirate lords.
Well,
Yeah, he knows her name.
yeah, but she
Vagaries-
also wants to keep things under wraps of like people fangirling and fanboying over her. So he's like, I'm gonna just say pink one, and Winry knows what he's talking about.
Oh, of course.
gotta at least have her have some peace of mind while being a pirate lord, while also still being a celebrity.
It's
Mandatory.
fine.
Yeah, he almost got possessed by something and destroyed a concert, so that was fun.
He what? Why is
Yeah.
why
That's
is
a
he
surprise
constantly
for us,
getting
too.
possessed?
Good question.
This is now a third time.
People just
Oh, this
can't
wasn't
stop getting
recently, this
possessed
was
around
like-
here.
To
Oh,
be
no,
fair,
there
Wasn't
was-
recently.
There was
To be fair,
recent,
this-
actually.
Oh. Huh. That boy
Well, to
really
be
needs to get
fair-
that checked on.
this was before Tasha changed her ways, so.
That boy ain't right.
That boy is weak-willed. He just sees a pink dragon girl and he goes gaga for it.
He doesn't know she's a dragon. He does not know she's a dragon. She knows he's a dragon. Pink lady.
Pink lady. I mean, like, yeah.
You see, as Rudy also just like kind of just shuffles through. Right, Your Majesty.
Ugh.
I know it's weird for all of us, but like,
Just call me Captain. I'm okay with that at least.
aye, Cap.
Okay.
We do have a place to be. Is there something of importance that you need to get relayed to us?
we have
Oh, Kraken bad. Things are fucked. Anything else?
Your words are
Very
as
succinct.
Could there be-
elaborate as ever.
So the Kraken's released. Also, the Tarask is about to appear, and the King of Rocks, actually. All three.
Cool. I'm only paying attention to one of those. I'm guessing another amazing array of rainbow of color of heroes are going to save the other two. I'm a little occupied.
Yeah, I'm a little worried about the Kraken thing, because our friend Arthur, I think, is not doing so great because of it.
Right, that.
Oh, right. Arthur disintegrated in front of us, so.
Disintegrate. What the fuck?
Well,
I'm
what if
not
he said
gonna
it-
ask any more questions about it.
No,
Retreated
it
back to his
was a
own
protocol.
body.
It was a protocol.
Ugh. Like, just him disintegrating. He's just a weird fucking dude.
Yeah.
But Priya is taking care of parts of that, going on recon to see what the fuck is happening out there. We did lose contact with Arthur a while ago. He was keeping tabs and letting us know more about the situation out in the ocean. We should probably take this somewhere more private inside, so I don't panic the residents.
We gotta go, so
Oh,
I think.
You're
is there
on the
anything you need from
Sandtide,
me?
yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
we are aboard the Sandtide. So
Oh, gotcha.
I guess if we lower our voices, maybe it won't carry so far.
Oh yeah,
We
no,
should
we're
go
fine.
inside.
Yeah. Just yeah.
Remember, these are very big ships. It takes a lot for voices to carry.
It's also a lot bigger on the inside.
Huh.
Thanks to your handiwork.
Yep.
You see as Rudy kind of just crossing his arms.
What's on your mind?
Does sound like Murad might need an extra hand, given everything. And
Yes. it
tactical
would
military
be-
mind would be useful.
Yes, exactly that. I would probably need an extra military mind in this. That isn't just thinking about plundering places that already got ransacked or destroyed. So it would be nice to have a more leveled head about that kind of stuff.
Yeah, with that, Wenry would then just descend from Murad and just...
Okay, well, in which case then, Rudy, if you're going to stay with Mirad,
She's going to take his hands. Be safe. Reach out to me as often as you can. I know I will be doing the same.
Alright.
And Mirad points to Roloi. And you still haven't contacted my mother.
Yeah! I've been fucking busy. Also,
Then it's not my fault about you leaving your kid somewhere.
I didn't know he. We'll talk about this later. I'm not in the wrong here.
Just because you enjoy one night stands doesn't drive the situation. Salazar, Canis, Arya, Nyx are all like, what the fuck?
No, Candace is...
Arya is straight up cackling. Arya is in the background losing her shit. She has never laughed harder.
Never seen a more perfect your mom in a D&D
Candace is just
game before.
disassociating.
Arya's laughing her ass off.
Hang on. No, I need to check something. Before Roloi digs himself a deeper grave, Canis is casting silence on him and just with the one finger just stop. Stop.
This is remarkably common.
It seems so.
But
Seems
yes,
that my mom can't keep a husband down to save her life.
don't worry. We have plans to visit Excelsium at some point. I will make sure that we stop by and say hi.
We have to save Excelsium.
Yeah,
visiting.
about that. It's kind of also getting fucked, but
Oh, how
I
fun.
don't really
I'm
pay
aware.
attention to that.
The long stare for a minute from Citra.
We have reasons
It's
to go
not,
there, but we will say hi.
It's not an offense towards anything that's happening to the people there. I am trying my best to do what I can with the tools and the resources that I can on the seas. I also worry about the people there on the... Don't get me wrong. So, just try to keep a chin up. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
You're with good people. I'm sure you'll get there soon. Rolei will definitely get you there. I don't know if he'll make it out alive, though. We will find out.
He's just continuing as it's just silence.
He's been talking the whole time and hasn't been able to hear anything.
This is Roloi. You honestly think he'll just roll over at any point?
No, I'm thinking that my mom might strangle him, and not in the fun way that he would probably want. So, who
He
knows?
will take it that way either way, but yeah.
I'm sure he will.
The fucking Yo Mama joke image.
So to those that have no idea what the context is, I just put an image of Superman's dad putting his hand up saying, "No, no, no, son, don't," from Man of Steel.
Murad is gonna just do a little salute, and did they need anything else from Murad?
We may need a little restock on supplies, but that's about it.
It was nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well. Handshakes and hugs to people who want them.
Teacher gives hugs regardless, so if he wants one, he gets one.
Murad is a good friend to have.
He's also very dad.
He's very
very
dad.
Extremely dad.
Very opposite of Canis, who
Yeah,
refuses
sorry.
to be dad.
Wow.
Canis.
How dare you?
Dad wars.
Dad wars.
Who can build the better shed?
Oh my god.
Okay. Hold on. As supplies are provided, as Murad returns back to home base, along with Rudy giving a very loving kiss to Winry before fleeing
As if
into
she
the city.
wouldn't do the same. Come
Yes.
on.
Of course, as you see, as they flee into the city in hopes to realign and move things in a much more better direction in terms of the forces that are provided. As for all of you, as you board upon the sand tide, and as you see it slowly make its way out of Volflora, you see almost as it reaches towards the barrier, it also forms this massive bubble around the ship. As you find yourself sailing through the sea. And then over it. And as you all begin to make to the skies, you find yourselves getting closer and closer to leaving this star.
To the place where Cedra died.
Before so, as you begin to pass what looks like to be a large set of storm clouds.
Wow.
As the weather begins to intensify up here, you all begin to feel an immense cold up here.
Poor Cedra.
As rain comes down, it is suddenly, as it hits your face, it freezes in place as you all just manage to kind of shake off and kind of buffet the freezing winds and rain.
Is this what Dante explained?
Somewhat. As you see, as a strike of lightning just passes by one of the clouds, you see an outline. Almost as massive as this ship, if not bigger.
Guys.
Cedra just immediately grabs Salazar's arm, staring at it like, oh, sweet Jesus.
Rolly, I think we need to kick it into high gear.
As you pass by the top of the clouds, you see as you are swirling within the eye of a massive storm as swooping over your guys' ship, as these massive, large talons just barely miss all of you, as you notice this huge, gargantuan bird-like creature with what looks like to be these large shingles of ice that create its massive wings. You can feel as the temperature up here begins to drop below freezing. And you hear the large, thunderous screech of this massive, Titanic-like creature. Its eyes set on those trying to leave the star.
I think we found it.
Oh boy.
I think this is the King of Rocks.
Yeah. Yeah.
She's shivering, by the way.
You all witness the Rhyme Lord, the King of Rocks. And with that, so we're going to go ahead and leave today's session.
Rocks fall, we all die.
Burb.
Yeah, oh. Where am I?
Uh-oh. What happened?
There we go. Alrighty. Sorry. Sound effect stuff. Alright. So, with that being said, that's where we're going to go ahead and leave today's session.
Oh boy.
So, it's going to be very interesting next episode. But, yeah. Picture is later this week.
Oh,
Why,
yeah.
why do you keep putting
Mel,
Suture in these
that's
freezing
not far.
conditions?
That's not far off, Mel.
In a way. Alright, so with that being said, we're going to go ahead and jump on to some relatively quick announcements as you all prepare the concept of your fate with the first Titan that you will be seeing in this campaign. So,
Oh, joy.
Jesus.
I do have a technical question that I that I would like to ask. Don't know what that was about.
Wonder what happened there.
But because we know that we're going somewhere, I wanted Nyx to prepare casting foresight on themselves at the beginning of each day. But we were doing a lot of role playing, so I didn't know when I could slip that in.
We'll talk about it after session. I promise.
All right, sounds good.
Alrighty. Well then, that being said, in terms of announcements, I don't really have any. I just been busy with kind of working on stuff and getting stuff ready for release. I'm also getting stuff recorded for an abridged episode that I've been planning for a little while. But more information will come. I swear. I promise. I've also been preparing Monster Hunter because Arch Tempered right now is
Yep.
It's coming up.
just around the corner.
Is it later this week?
Yeah, it may be. I
Not
got
this
extra
week,
time.
the week after next. I believe it's Monday. Monday or
Gonna
Tuesday.
beat up a thunder lizard.
Yeah, I can't wait for this. Alright, but that being said, I don't really have too much else to announce, so I'm gonna leave it to Connor.
Connor?
Connor?
Pardon me, there is a screaming child in my background.
Oh, no.
Fair enough.
Hello, everybody. I'm the Distortion Devil. You can find me over on Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, Tumblr, Blue Sky at Distortion Devil. Find all my TTRPG content over at youtube.com/Devils and Dice Rolls, patreon.com/Devils and Dice Rolls, if you feel like supporting. Where my first video is in production currently. I'm recording it.
Nice.
Yay.
Fun.
Yes. I'm very excited. But that's really about it for me. I'll pass it on to Blue.
Hi, it's me. It's Blue Cosmonauta. I don't have much going on right now either. I have stuff for a future project because now I'm knowing players and arts and stuff. But my computer, my poor tablet, power cord, shat itself, so I'm gonna be without it for a week. So I'm not gonna slowly lose my mind. Anyways, besides that, I don't really have much else going on besides playing Monster Hunter. So I'm gonna hand it over to Mal.
Hi, you can find my Twitch, Twitter, and Blue Sky at Sir Malerick. I don't really have much to announce aside from that's what my socials are, and I do pop in on my friends' streams on occasion. So
Scared the shit out
that's
of me
it for
today.
Yeah, scared the hell out of you today. Awesome. Tara, then.
Alright, so, not a whole lot going on for me either. You can find me on Blue Sky, Tara Corbin VO, or on YouTube, Tara Corbin. I did realize that something that I was in came out like a month ago and I never realized. So, if you're a fan of Digimon, you can check out Digimon Tamers Abridged, episode 3 on the DigiDestiny channel where I play Terriermon. It's a very fun time.
Oh, that is a fun role.
Yeah.
Very fun.
Momentai.
Who else would be in that parody?
Momentai.
Momentai. Yeah, it's a very fun time. But that's all from me. On to Ray.
Hi, I'm Ray, also known as Key Inc. and Calligraphy Inc. on various platforms, including Blue Sky and Tumblr and Twitch is the Key Inc. one. I stream very rarely when I can. I mostly hang out in other people's streams, like I did the other day with Connor on their stream. But other than that, been doing a lot of Monster Hunter and Space Station 14, and yeah, looking forward to doing more fun stuff in the future. On to you, Kendra.
Hi, I'm Kendra, also known as Transient Day. Primarily, you can find me on Tumblr and Blue Sky. I don't do too much exciting. I'm currently working on my character for the next campaign, and I can't say any more about that. But I'm also still working on some Wenry art, and I'm trying to get through it, but it's just sometimes the art is a struggle.
Yeah.
I get that.
Aside from that, yeah, I'll try to be popping into more streams. I'll also be playing a lot of Monster Hunter, getting ready for Raydao. His fight is so much fun. I love fighting him. Anyway.
His sounds are so much fun.
Oh, yes. Yes. Yeah, I think that's just about everything on my end. I'll be working with Aaron to get the LLC and everything all figured out. I've got people I can talk to, so meh.
Yeah.
Aside from that, like, subscribe. Thank you, Gamer Subs.
Yeah. All right. Well then, that being said, nothing else pressing.
Don't think so.
Well, like and subscribe, sponsor, all that stuff.
Of course. Well then, that being said, thank you all so much for watching. Thank you guys for hanging out. We hope to see you again. You stay safe out there. We love you. And as always, see you next Sunday. Bye everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.